Good morning, rulers. How are you all doing this morning? This is Jeremy Franklin, DMO73, for the Top 8 commentary, and I'm joined by the beautiful, lovely Cal Tuma. Say good morning, Cal.
Good morning, everybody.
So, before we get started, we're getting ready here for our first match of Top 8. It is Paul Martinson, second seed on the left, with Brunhild Alter versus Joseph Cuevas on the right with Magna Alter. It should be interesting. I know that Joseph is a little bit scared, concerned about this matchup, particularly because the Magna Alter list is not playing nearly as many cancels. Um, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. They have 3 minutes to look at deck lists. And then it's 60 minutes for top 8, 60 minutes for top 4, and then 90 minutes for finals. Um, so far we have, so it's Paul versus Joseph, Travis Strand versus Mike Rance, which is the Lich Mirror. That's going to be fun. Daniel Negrete versus Jalen Rojas. So Rezard versus Loki. And then it would have been Gerardo, Rezard versus Brunhild with Ryan, but Ryan has conceded to Gerardo. So Gerardo's automatically an advance to top 4. Just needs one more win to get himself to an invite to Worlds. As we get started here, obviously, I was going to sleep, but I can't. As we get started here, we want to thank everybody for being here and supporting us just by watching. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. If Mike wins, can we get him on stream next? Yes, absolutely. If Mike Rance wins, we'll put him on stream for top 4. We know there's been internet issues. We appreciate you guys pushing through it. Not much we can do at this point. So we're just going to keep going and try to be as descriptive as possible with our audio so that you can hear us. At least know what's going on when the little lag spikes happen. We appreciate all the support. If you want, the easiest way to financially support us is to join be as a member on the channel. You click that little join button down below, or give us some super chats like Brian has done. Brian, thank you so much for your support on the stream. We really appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be a good day, I think.
I think so too. It's there's a lot of alter, but
yes,
regardless of there being a lot of alter, this format's actually extremely taxing as far as skill level goes.
Yeah, I think
it's just that skill level is attested between turns 1 and 3 usually.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. The big difference I think between like alter era now versus alter era in Collinsville was alter era in Collinsville was just to like set up the board to then push through to win. Alter now is the win con, right?
Yeah,
like
it was always the win con, but now your win con actually wins you the game the turn that you go off,
which I think has actually made the games more interesting because like the back and forth has been like you actually have to play in such a way that like sets you up to be able to execute, right? And so it's not just, oh, I'm going to do this. There's been a lot more counterplay and like good skill chasing and good, play lines, right? Decision trees and everything else that's made the games a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
And also
it's a format that rewards good knowledge and just good clean play. And being able to work with extremely limited resources to play to your outs as best that you can.
Yes.
And one of the best people, I'm going to go off on a slight tangent, Paul Martinson's one of the best players in Minnesota. Okay. This is the first time he's finally gotten a top 8. And it's in this format because he is that good. He is one of the most technically skilled players in Minnesota. Cuevas is also amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So this match is going to be really interesting. I think the Brunhild deck should be favored.
Yes.
Because, and that's how the deck was built, was to take these other decks to town. Because you go, all right, I'm just going to sit here on counter spells and force you to try to come back to try to force bard states into me, and once you've tapped out and the path is free, then I will just kill you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, if so Paul gets to choose whether to be on the play or the draw here. I think the obvious choice is to take the draw.
Usually the obvious choice is the draw.
Especially since Brunhild wants the white don't get the ability to play Kaguya onto, which can be pretty detrimental based on the matchup.
Well, it's not as unlike the only real situations in which you don't have Kaguya available on 2 is when you don't see a Calico Cat on 1, which is important. That's like the working MVP that nobody pays attention to in this deck. That card carries the deck in a lot of situations. And Or you hit double Heaven's Rift, which I was told was a 2% chance by Paul because I hit it once against another Magna player yesterday. So
That is a big old rip.
for Magna, you just want to force bad hands out of the Kaguya player.
Okay. See, buddy.
It sounds like they're just making choices on the play draw now.
Mm-hmm. They can resolve their mulls, but cannot start yet. So they're figuring out who's going first. Resolving mulligans, can't start. Yeah, I think I agree, Lachlan. If there was the Amon play line in the Magna deck, I think that it would be able to push through. But I know for a fact that Joseph's not playing that way.
It could, but there are play lines that do get around that. Brunhild is playing specific creature interaction, not tons. But if Paul knew that Amon was an option, he would be like mulliganing for optical camouflages and things like that.
Absolutely.
Trying to see if there's anything of note in Joseph's list that like stands out to me.
Paul choosing to take the drop. Paul choosing to take the play here.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Okay.
What do you think the justification is for that?
Turn 1, he gets to
And here we go.
be the he gets to be the person who now is like kind of dictating the pace of the game a little bit.
Sure.
And he knows, I think, that the Magna deck can't go on. I'm going to play this Calico Cat and pass. That's all I'm going to do. Which is exactly what he wants to do, because now trying to do Sigurd shenanigans is much harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay.
So we're exploring the unknown here.
Yep. Paul has Heaven's Rift Black Silence, so he's well on his way to having everything set up.
There you go. What did he grab? Did I miss what he grabbed off of the Explorer?
I don't remember if he's picked. I think that he hasn't picked yet.
Oh, I think it.
Or maybe he did. No, he must have. I missed it. Joseph finds the Genesis, so he's able to get that down. He now has 3 mana available. Before on looks like or Awakening of the Winged Lord. I'm not entirely sure when.
I think this is probably during Joseph's end phase.
Probably.
I mean, because you're not going to try to cancel the Genesis. It's not going to be an advantage.
So if Joseph passes with that, then yeah. That's the sort of thing that he generally does, yeah. So draw for turn. He gets a sack altar off of it. That's a nice proactive play for the deck. Because this sets up him being able to go and fetch Sigurd off the altar with the cat. Which allows him to start setting up loops. So now he untaps with 3 mana.
And then just gets to say pass.
Yeah. He's passing and there's a variety of reasons, but the main one is that his opponent has a bunch of untapped mana. And Paul has the stones set up correctly to start comboing, but now he's just waiting for the opportunity to present itself.
So that's these little, we've talked about these before, it's these like little volleys during the end phase between these kinds of decks. So it's just like, how much can you push through during the end phase? Right. It's, how much can you try to eke out of your opponent during the end phase?
Dark Alice is played, discards a Sigurd for Joseph.
So what rulers are in top 8 besides the Brunhild and Magna? We see there's another Brunhild, there's 2 Liches, there's a Loki, and 2 Rezards.
Yep.
So it's 2 Rezards, 2 Brunhilds, 2 Liches, Loki, Magna.
Joseph also discarded the Frigg Resonator.
Yep.
So still before untap, a second Dark Alice.
Is this on Joseph's turn?
I believe so. Yeah, he drew for turn, I believe.
Okay. What is that card? Well, it's about to get discarded, so I can see a little bit better. Oh,
Curse of
Oh,
Caduceus.
interesting. I mean, it's probably going to get canceled, so it's like, do you want to get into a cancel war over a
Right.
curse? If it resolves, it's probably pretty good, but it's I'm not sure if that's a cancel war you want to get into this early in the game.
The other thing about it is that like you play Curse of Caduceus and Paul just goes sure and then dispels before his untap step.
That's also
Like
true.
that's
And
another thing.
having seen that, not going to get you nearly as much value.
Also discards an Awakening of the Winged Lord, so
That's a little bit
he's
interesting.
setting something up for his hand. I'm just not sure what. I see that he has a Twin Swords of Water's Mercy. Looks like he's going to put that in play. Probably try to top deck the Calico Cat. It's still before untaps, so
we're gonna see a sack to altar.
Yep.
Go.
Let's go ahead and sack that to altars. You don't want to be hindering your draws off that while you have an altar in play. Call Stone. Lots of mana available for.
We're gonna try to cast the Sigurd from the grave.
Yep. Paul is looking like he's going to attempt probably the Light of the Moon and then probably try to Kaguya this.
So this is actually will because he only has 3 will and he can only get to 2 on the altar.
Well, if the Kaguya resolves, he can get to 3 on the altar.
Sure, I don't think the Kaguya resolves here.
Well,
because if you're in Joseph's, in my opinion, if you're in Joseph's shoes, like you're playing into the Kaguya deck, right? Like you're not gonna push this unless you can win the cancel war.
Well, the awkwardness though is that like he also could just let Sigurd get canceled and try to cast it again, but no, he has the Earthly Flash in his hand.
Like I said, this is how you win cancel wars, right?
Yep.
Cancel the Resonator of cost 3. Optical camo on.
He's going to optical camouflage the Sigurd.
Yeah, the Sigurd
in response to the enter trigger.
And we're gonna sack a second thing to. What's happening here?
It looks like he's then sacking the token to go and probably, I would guess, get
perfect Loki.
Perfect Loki. Okay. Okay.
This is before the altar goes off. Okay, that's quite the play here. Oh, we have Energize in for Blue Wizard. Wow.
This is what I'm always afraid of when I play against Magna. It's just like, oops, I had my one-ofs. I'm like, well, yeah, you had your one-ofs.
Yeah, for sure.
So
we're gonna go get. We get to go get an altar here, right?
You can get an altar, but I'm not sure what exactly you get to do with it unless you have a Dark Alice in your hand.
Right.
You need to be able to get your Sigurd back into your graveyard.
Right, absolutely. That's the big
unless
right
you
now.
Yeah, and you also need to untap, so I'm trying to think of
like you
if
can get
there's
to an
a
Athenia,
line.
like
you can get to an Athenia, but the Athenia doesn't get you to having the Sigurd castable again.
Right. Unless he has something in hand that he can use to discard.
Yeah. That would but that would make it obvious. Like you just snap grab the altar here and go, cool. Banish the altar, get Athenia, cast Dark Alice, win the game.
Yeah.
But he's not doing that, which kind of leads me to believe that he's in a little bit of set up the Sigurd for next turn.
Guys, at this point in time, alter Dark Alice, dump Sigurd equals game. At this point in time,
because he doesn't have mana for it, Lachlan.
At this point in time, there's not really much that we're going to be able to do in terms of the visual skips. We're just going to try to best to keep you up to date visually. We'll probably be working to re-upload these in post, with the local recordings.
Yeah, so he just passes the turn and is setting up for having basically anything he needs next turn. I'm going to look and see if he's playing Kaguya. He is not. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, this was post recovery. We had to cast the Sigurd.
Yeah. Okay. So now Paul is in kind of a make or break situation. He has to play around an altar that can get
A lot of different things
true, but the question so he's already gotten a lot of the relevant stuff. I'm looking to see what is left
in
that
terms
could
of the
actually
strangers.
that could actually be a problem for him. Oh, he is playing one Kaguya. Okay, so that's the issue. He has to play around a single Kaguya.
There is a Kagi in Joseph's deck, a single copy. Could have also alter for Sig, get an alter to Athenia to win. I don't think he had enough bodies. Oh no, it would have been his whole board. But yeah, he could have gotten there.
Yeah.
But we see an untap from Paul, or just call stone pass from Paul going to Joseph. So now Joseph is in a decent spot here. But again, we need to get to the Sigurd,
Mm-hmm.
which is the big difference here.
And now Paul is just untapped with mana and going to go, all right,
Cancels.
I have cancels
We have
now. Yeah,
5 cards in hand for Paul.
I believe something around there.
Dark Alice swinging in for 2.
Get him. Get him.
Hey man, it's a 20 turn clock.
Yeah.
Takes it. Goes down to 38.
Yep.
Blue Wizard going in for 6.
I forget that blue wizards are just so enormously chunky for a 1-drop, though, with an ability.
Takes the damage from there. Takes the Twin Swords as well, which I think is another 6, correct?
I believe so.
Let's look it up. Put it up on screen. Yes, another 6. So down to 26. Let's see here. The thing is, though, like with the altar stuff, right? So, like, we have altar on board. So, there's not really much that either deck can do to, like, stop, like, once an altar is resolving, right? Like, it's going to go grab a creature.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, what's the most impactful creature you could grab here?
So Joseph's doing the math to see if he can lethal
Whoa,
somehow.
okay.
I would presume is what
We
he's
do have
doing.
access to Azazel, right? So, like,
Yeah,
you can
that's your win con is you put an Azazel into play and then you just sack everything on your board
to the
infinite
altar,
times.
yeah, and just burn your opponent.
Oh, he's getting in for another 2.
Dark Alice is putting in work. Zazel the Blazing Charger. Oh, I don't have it in here.
Interestingly, Joseph also passes. We're just kind of in a stare down at this point.
I think
Where
Joseph.
Joseph is just looking at it and saying, I have a board.
Yeah, I think Joseph's at advantage because he has the board.
Yeah.
So like Paul can't really afford to just sit and do nothing.
It
Like
looks like
we're
Paul's just
pre-recovery.
going to pre-recovery
Yeah,
Chant of Trank.
I think he'd let that resolve. I don't
Yeah.
think that's worth canceling.
I don't think that's wasting spells canceling a 3 mana instant speed ramp spell.
That comes into play tapped. Like it's not even. So it's just gonna recover, but
Right.
still, it's not like I can then play a 2-drop before recovery.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we gonna see the cancel? Oh, a Schrodinger.
Hmm.
Oh, that makes sense. We're casting the Schrodinger here while he only has 1 will available, so that we can get things kind of turned back on. I think
Flickering the Dark Alice, I'm presuming, so that he can bin the Sigurd again.
that would make the most sense. It's a good play, taking advantage of the lack of will. Sigurd has been such an Schrodinger's been such an interesting card. We have not seen it animated for anything other than to immediately sacrifice it.
Pretty much always, yeah.
Wait, what happened? How did it? How did the Schrodinger go to grave? What did we miss?
I think he. I don't know.
What did we miss there?
Did he think that that's a spell?
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna go ask.
Oh, he sacked it to Dark Alice. Duh.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's
To
permanent.
draw.
You can sack it. You can sack it to Dark Alice.
That makes most sense. That makes the most sense. Ploki killing off one of those Dark Alices.
Mm-hmm.
Sacrifice to altar instead.
Right.
I don't know why you wouldn't just like push face for damage there. If you're gonna swing at all, like you might as well just go face.
He forces the Dark Alice to die. That's what he's trying to do in this situation. Is he's trying to. He just says that Dark Alice is gonna die. You can sack it to your altar. I don't care. Vatland. Paul doesn't have a way to hard cast P-Loki in his deck. He doesn't play blue stones. So
yeah, so putting it back in his deck means that it's alterable. The field is just like cool. You have a very vanilla.
Right,
like,
but you don't want to bounce back to your hand because you cannot hard cast it. There's kind of a universe.
Back to hand, it would bounce it back to top of deck, which would then
no. Vatland was saying to Chant of Tranquility, the P-Loki back to hand
instead of ramping.
Yeah,
a Calico Cat here. Do you cancel this Calico Cat? I don't know if this is the fight you get into here.
Well, it's after an altar has come down on the board.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a world to me where this Calico Cat gets canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, no, we're getting into a cancel war with defense stance.
Yeah. So, I think the reasoning here is that, like, if this cat resolves, that altar becomes
an Athenia, and you just get to start pushing off that way.
No, Paul plays 2 Heaven's Rifts.
There is a world, though, where if he does try to go for the Athenia, you're in kind of a better-ish spot because you can sack off your 2 strangers, get your own Athenia, and then, like, RFG Grave before he gets to do really much of anything else.
Right. I don't believe there's a Sigurd in his graveyard yet either, so.
Right. Ooh, this feels bad.
Well,
we're going to lose this cancel war. Now we just go for the 1-up cog. Waiting to see if the 1 sack resolves. Second sack. Yeah, Paul's really thinking about whether or not he can pull out the Dispel here. I don't think you do because he has the access to the Dark Alice anyway. So, like, if you Dispel, he's just going to go to 3. And then, which then will cancel the Calico Cat. This is really bad for Paul. This is a bad spot. We did get a Sigurd to grave with the Dark Alice, yes. So yeah, like Joseph just gets to go off.
So I'm wondering here if we're not setting up a kooky little line here where Paul is going to pass an attempt. Yeah, he's going to Power of Immortality.
The Ploki?
Yeah.
That would definitely be a line.
Which will be a -8 to the board, it looks like. Which
is enough.
Kills everything of relevance.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yep, you're right.
Yep.
Here comes the power.
Power of Immortality.
Do we have something in Gerardo or in Joseph's arsenal to answer this?
Not for 1 mana, I don't think, because we've already thrown our blue wizard to the wind. Oh, and he's banishing it twice. Ooh, okay. He's going to get a Sigurd off of this, I believe.
While his opponent is going to be.
Basically tapped out.
Wait, no, he's getting a 1-drop?
No, he banished the P. Loki twice. P. Loki's back in the
Oh,
graveyard.
we're doing this on Chase.
Yeah.
To have more cards in the grave, I guess. So this is all in response to the
This
first
is all in
P
response.
Loki minus, which
Yeah.
then stacks the second P Loki minus.
Yeah. And so this hopefully locks out the turn for Joseph.
Is Joseph playing a Ploki? I don't think he is in his list.
I don't remember there being a P. Loki. No. Yeah, there's one on the board.
Yep, that probably comes in.
Yeah. Looks like he's just going to attempt
immediately
to
dies.
Just to get. He's going to get some value off of it. Like he goes and gets an altar.
Essentially paying 2 to get altar on board, right?
Yeah. One thing that's a little bit annoying here for Joseph now is that Curse of Caduceus he discarded at the beginning of the game. Because it would have been really nice to get that at some point, and right about now, Paul is minus a dispel, and then he has to use an altar proc to go and get a peer. I'm not even sure what other targets Joseph runs in his deck that he could even get. It's the Schrodinger, the Curse of Caduceus.
We're getting a second thing out here. Double altar. Paying 4 to get double altar. What is in Joseph's hand that we're trying to
I have a feeling that the answer is that his hand is stone cold nothing. Like, I can't think of much that he has in hand unless maybe he's going to try to, like, YOLO Awakening of the Winged Lord. Nope. He's going to Rhea.
During Paul's turn?
Must be.
So that it gets there?
So it doesn't immediately die on impact.
There is a line here, I suppose. I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out. What do you send here to the grave?
What do you send here to the grave? The other Sigurd? Maybe. He's looking through his deck in a way that kind of tells me he's not 100% sure what he's looking for right now.
Yeah, for sure, I agree.
He doesn't play Black Wizard, I don't believe.
Ooh, that would have been spicy, although you can't use it during your opponent's turn.
Right.
We're just sending another Mikaki Ray at the grave.
Just thinning his deck, looking for action. But at this point, I think it doesn't matter because now Paul has basically tapped you out.
Is Paul playing the Shadow X loop?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. He's one of the guys who made the Shadow X loop.
So we're probably going to see, unfortunately, that be lethal. I don't really know what
8.
1-drop.
He's attacking for 8. A Sigurd has entered combat. Haha.
This is unheard of.
I know. I beat down a few opponents with Sigurds yesterday. It's kind of how it goes. So this is a hard cast Athenia out of hand.
Yep. But then at that point, we can just remove the whole graveyard. Like, we have enough black resources here.
Oh, we have enough resource. We have resources for days at this point.
Like, in my opinion, I think what you do here is you just go black, black, and then, like, black again.
The only thing...
Joseph has a couple ways to it. You just RFG the graveyard and the game's over. Right?
But here's the thing. You don't even have to RFG the grave right now. Because right now he's just going to be like, okay, cast Sigurd.
Go sure, I get it. A thing. I get it. That's just...
Now he just wins the game. Like he puts the loop into play in a minute once he basically just has to shuffle all of his pieces into his deck to make sure they're there,
Yep.
and then he wins.
Yep.
Because I can't. There's no 1-drops left in Joseph's deck that
There's
he
a
can go
0
get.
drop.
Yes, he can get Healing Gimmick.
Yeah. So he can use one of those altars to get a healing gimmick, and then sack Rhea and he can sack Rhea and the healing gimmick to the other altar to get a 2-drop that doesn't matter.
This Sigurd's gonna go and get Schrodinger, flicker the Athenia, and this is, yeah, the loop isn't perfectly started yet, but it's about to start.
Yeah, I mean,
Thrilling, I
you're,
know.
I mean, if you're in Joseph's shoes, don't you scoop it up and push into the next game?
I'm trying to think of what Joseph could get that would sort this out.
The only thing I can think of is, does he have a second Curse of Caduceus?
No.
So we're responding to the sack to. Oh, I guess we hadn't seen the dispel yet.
Oh, right, we hadn't. Oh, I thought we did. I must have confused it with the Chant of Tranquility.
So the dispel trying to pop it before it gets any counters.
Yeah. He's going to look and observe that, my blue wizard is in my graveyard.
That's what I'm like. That's to me. It's like, why would I? He's gonna sack it for a 0. We get a healing gimmick.
Yeah. We get a healing gimmick. Like, that's what we get.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I think I get what you're saying about he could just go ahead and set up the loop here, but I think even to just save yourself some brain power for a long day, you just RFG Joseph's graveyard and the game's over. Like,
well, the loop is not actually that brain intensive, and Paul knows what he knows the loop inside, outside, upside down.
Sure.
And so now he's just going to banish. Doesn't get a Shadow X. After banishing, I think, the Sigurd, he casts the Sigurd. He just banishes everything to the altar, and then he shuffles everything in with the Athenia. And then he loops.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, yeah, it's just the question of Joseph having to basically just admit defeat.
Yep.
Look at Paul's just trying to figure out the loop setup. So
what are we waiting for on Joseph's side to just
I'm not sure.
say next game? Like,
I'm not sure. The only thing I can think of is that Joseph doesn't know the kill loop.
That doesn't seem.
He was 8-2. It's theoretically, possibly won without ever seeing kill loops happen.
That's true.
But it looks like he's showing the general gist of what's going on, and I do not suspect that this will be around for long.
Explaining the loop to him, and then
Yeah, I think he's explaining the setup at least.
every single time it's a loop, you get one counter. You end with one crystal higher than you did before.
Yep. Just confused at this exact second why Paul hasn't just put the cat in the. Yeah, now he banishes the cat. Now he banishes the Sigurd.
Yeah, what are we waiting for here?
What are we waiting for here? So he has the third Athenian
I'm
deck.
trying to look and see what's in Joseph's deck to even possibly.
Paul sack all of his Athenias. Please tell me he didn't sack all of his Athenias.
Yes, he did.
But he has a Chant of Tranquility.
That works.
That works. And now he has the loop, I believe. Yeah.
I'm trying to look at what one drops exist.
I mean, I can see in his list what one drops exist. There's nothing. Like,
Oh, something apparently is happening at the table. So looking in here, there is not a drop that I can see. Yeah, there's not a one drop in here that I can see that gets him there.
yeah, not that I'm aware
That
of.
isn't already in the bin.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm wondering why we're making him play through the whole thing. That's a Kaguya off of an altar? What's happening here? Did he flub up the loop?
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So they're fixing the mistake is that Paul banished altar for 3, and Joseph let it resolve, and then Paul realized that he didn't have any Athenias in his deck, so he tried to Chant of Tranquility, and they rewound because you can't do that mid-resolution of altar.
Oh, sure.
So he just went and grabbed a Kaguya so that he can cast the Chant of Tranquility for 1, reshuffle all that stuff in, and now he can cast Sigurd.
And keep things going.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a stumble.
A little bit of a stumble.
Oh,
And
okay.
now, okay.
Is this the moment where we have an
He
option?
banishes to get a Dark Alice. So Dark Alice resolves. Now Paul is going to continue doing things.
Yeah, okay, so what did this Dark Alice do for us then?
It's pretty.
I mean, yes, you're not wrong. It's a very pretty card. It's a unknown Mother Goose to steal it.
There's a Cage of Mother Goose.
Yeah, it's yes. Cage of Mother Goose.
And so I think what Paul is doing is that he goes, I've messed everything up, but he's just going to set up the same perfect Loki loop again. Yeah, because he's banishing upkeep.
So that he can't do anything during his turn.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough. That's the hard part of it is getting to the loop. That's yes. The hardest part of the combo is just putting, and I think he just miscounted what he had available or was playing around something that didn't exist. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, caster vision's a thing. We can sit here for caster vision and viewer vision is a thing. We can sit here for ages and go, yeah, you just had it if you did X, Y, and Z, but you aren't sitting in that chair at the end of the day. So,
Lachlan and Matt, I'm going to ask you guys to kind of
chill,
move on from the convo. Unfortunately, this is just kind of where we're at with this top 8. It's kind of what we expected to be. This is kind of unfortunate.
Yep.
This is kind of an unfortunate application of it, particularly because both players had the opportunity to use their loop as a win con, and both players messed it up, which leads us to having a longer game.
Yeah.
So
It's just how it goes. Such is life. Such as
indeed.
card games. So, okay. Sigurd goes and gets an altar. Lovely. You banish Sigurd to the altar. Excellent.
Mikage Rhea from hand in response to the Sigurd being sacrificed to the altar.
Okay.
What else is in this? What else is in this deck?
Not much. Looks like he's bending an Athenia.
Yeah,
I think what he's doing, so he has an Awakening the Winged Lord.
thin the deck to see about.
Try to find the defense stance.
How did the defense stance get removed earlier?
He Dark Housed.
Oh, that's correct. He sacked it to Dark House. There's the Awakening.
Yep. He is looking for something.
And this is in response to sacrifice to the altar.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
So what are you trying to get? That's a 2-drop for this.
Well, I guess we'll see. He gets
Dragon Princess.
Princess. Okay.
Ooh, that's pretty good because he can sacrifice it to the altar.
Yeah.
He needs another 1-drop. Does he have another 1-drop in hand? He does not.
Not the one that's quick cast.
That's
I don't think.
That's a Tsukiyomi Noble.
No, I can't be playing. Oh, he's got a defense stance. He's got defense stance Sigurd Athenia in his hand, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, we need more.
Yeah.
And it's not always the best at instant speed on your opponent's turn.
I mean, he's going to sack it and try to bounce
The
Perfect
Loki
Loki,
to
and
hand?
he banishes Perfect Loki to the altar.
If we could get like now would be a great time where if we could get to a third resonator,
Yeah.
we could do an Athenia and like force the Undine. Doesn't really do much though. Does get him his Dark Atlas back to hand though, which
Yeah.
is cute. We're back to Great Field.
Woo!
Puts the altar back into the hand of Paul, which is not a great situation for him to have. This has suddenly become a lot more interesting.
There's certainly a lot of stuff happening. The question is, what are we going?
That's the big question.
He's gonna banish for 2, for 1, banish for 1. Yeah, banish for 1. Go get a Dark Alice. It seems fine. Presuming that Undine is probably targeting that.
Unknown Mother Goose as well.
Yeah,
Or sorry, Mother Goose, Cage of Mother Goose.
Cage of Mother Goose. Just banish the cage to Dark Alice if you're feeling like it, or you just discard 2 cards.
Put it back to hand. Doesn't Mother Goose put it back into play?
No.
No, right. It
No,
bypasses
Mother
that.
Goose goes to hand.
Seal of Lenneth puts it into play.
Correct.
Do you have that defense? Much will.
True. That's the thing that's going to be the most helpful for Paul is he just has all of the will in the world to do whatever
to
he
play
wants.
through the 1 cancel.
Yeah. The difficult question is going to be if he has to cast anything that's not from his graveyard. Because if he just keeps casting this Sigurd, like, the defense stance never really comes into play. Because, like, when are you going to defense stance a Sigurd when he has 1,000,000 more mana?
Right.
But if he has to play something from hand,
there's some risk there, right?
Right.
But also now, like, he can just get to an Athenia and recover more will.
Yep.
Hoof. Loops.
Yeah.
Still playing. Defense stance on the recast of the Sigurd. It's fine. Just recast it.
Yeah.
Or once again at
1
Paul
crystal. Yeah, he gets an altar. He banishes Sigurd to altar. Banish Dark Alice to altar. Go get an Athenia.
We're at another point of Joseph having been tapped out and Paul getting to kind of re-execute the combo here.
So yeah, now he just needs to get to the point where the combo pieces are in the deck. Sigurd goes and grabs Schrodinger. Now
He makes Paul take the time to like do the loop.
right.
Joseph doesn't have any life gain, and Paul had just
Paul
like
also just plays Dispel.
well, Dispel's already gone at this point. Dispel is gone at this point.
Oh, right. I mean, I was presuming you were talking about a sudden death situation.
Well, like there we go. Okay, you see the scoop up. Like I was
now
like,
we see the scoop. All right.
yeah, you definitely don't. Once Paul goes off, like even grabs the single Shadow X and starts to go on the loop, and then I win. So I don't. I think it was the right play to scoop it up there.
Do you want me to replace you on commentary?
If you no, that's
Are you sure? I can. He's right there. I can grab him.
if he wants to come play, then
I'll go and ask.
Go ask him. So going into game 2 here, not very much time on the clock. I think the perfect look he definitely comes in for Joseph's side. So Kyle, I'll have you do here so that you can do life totals and stuff.
And now we sideboard and go to game 2.
Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone.
I now have with me
Logan Moses.
Yes, one of the locals who really did a lot of testing running up to this, and knows Paul's deck better than I do, I think. So
yeah, Derek and I helped Paul build this deck pretty solidly,
and he's been playing it pretty well.
He is a smart boy. That is true.
He is a smart boy. So now we're going into game 2.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Finding sideboards. So Paul's board, Don't Cheat, End of Friendship, Curse of Caduceus.
We probably bring in the Nameless Knights for sure. It stops the it's a way to exile the Sigurd. Okay.
They can hear us now. So we'll at least do our best to auditorily mention what is going on. So Joseph took the play. He has 3 stones in play. He's played a Rhea. There's a Calico Cat in play, which means that I'm guessing that a Sigurd has whatchamadoodles in play. And so he passes. And now there's a Dark Alice.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Alice is going to draw some cards and do some things.
Yeah, probably sack the Princess too, I would imagine.
Probably. Discards a Hoenir. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I suppose Hoenir, I suppose he's never resolving.
Probably not.
Probably not. Because, you never resolve that spell.
Okay, went to... Oh, yep. So he's discarding the Frigg, looks like.
Yeah, it looks like that's the case.
Kinda... I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to start bouncing some stuff. Bouncing the cat seems pretty solid. But
yeah,
I guess
bouncing the cat seems relevant. But maybe he's just trying to make sure that he has the...
Oh, okay. He's grabbing Athenia. That also would make sense.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it for the Athenia. But now...
But, yeah, he's at 3 Resonators in play.
Yeah.
And, Paul flips Light of the Moon.
Yeah, Light of the Moon, counterspell. The question is, does Joseph have a counterspell to back it up?
But Paul also has...
mana to cast another counterspell.
Yeah, and if Paul casts 2 cogs, that means he has 5 Resonators in play. You know what that means, Cal?
That we're only, 1 turn off of a haiku?
Oh. I suppose, yeah. I mean, he gets to set up Alter Stings pretty easily then.
Yeah, once you get to that point, then it's just I need to find a Sigurd and put in my graveyard, and then hooray, we win the game.
Yeah.
Congratulations, a winner is you. So, Joseph has to decide how much he does have a counter spell. He just has to decide how much he wants to fight over it. Yeah,
or a defense flash. I would assume the Earthly Flash is probably a little better. Yep. Yeah. Goes with the Earthly Flash. And Paul
has another counter
doing what Paul does and has the second cog.
Yep.
So now we have a board state with a cat, Dark Alice, 2 cogs.
Donger Cat's in the graveyard.
Yeah. So now,
so you top decked a Pier. He's gonna bottom deck his own Schrodinger because you want that in the deck, not in your graveyard.
Yes. Currently running it as a 1/of.
Yeah.
So we're at 4 mana for Paul.
So he's at 4 mana. He's got a pile of stuff. He's gonna go ahead and play. Ooh, that's a sack altar.
Yep.
So
hard cast the sack altar.
Yep.
Swinging.
Attack you for 4.
Yep. 4 damage. Gonna sack it off. Sack the token.
Yep. At least sack the first thing off.
Yes.
Joseph's tapped out,
which is never good.
He's tapped out with no interaction or way to do anything.
Exactly.
And Paul has a sack altar that at this point is gonna go and get a
probably an Athenia. I would assume so.
One would presume it's gonna go and get an Athenia. Well, no, it's the first one's gonna get a Sigurd.
Oh,
when the Sigurd goes and gets an altar, you banish the Sigurd to the altar.
Yeah, he's going that line.
Yeah.
Understandable too.
Looks like 2 attacks off of the Athenias or the Kaguya's, so it's
that's
26.
Yeah, that's math.
I'm bad at math. Yep, so there's an altar off of the Sigurd, and then this altar goes and gets an Athenia. Well, it says we're streaming. Nice.
Okay, should be good.
All right.
Okay.
Hello again.
Woo. All right. Where are we at?
Okay.
An Athenia.
There's an Athenia. There's a Schrodinger. We've got, I'm guessing, I believe,
floating.
Had 1 floating mana. Now it becomes a Sigurd. Yep. Now we go get an altar.
Yep. So we're at about point B in the loop. He has some Athenia.
I don't think we haven't gotten to the loop yet. I don't think because he gets the Shadow X here.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't
preliminaries.
started it. Yeah, he's getting to it.
Yes.
He hasn't started loop A, but we're proceeding to the point where loop A is about to start.
Yes. You can watch over here, Logan. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. And you can also look at the chat and listen, see them tell me that I suck.
All right. Yeah.
We did it, Jeremy. Yay.
Yes.
All right, so yes.
What is going on here?
What is going on here? There's an Athenia in play.
There is.
Oh, baby.
That is shuffling things.
Oh, yeah. That looks like 4 mana available. You know what happens when there's 4 mana and Athenia and all of your pieces in your deck?
That means you can cast Sigurd twice.
Yes. And you know what happens when you cast Sigurd twice in this format?
You win the game.
Somebody's dying. Somebody is going to be dead.
Oh. Alrighty.
So it's lovely to see now that you've come and joined us what is, I believe, the end step of the process. But we get to probably see the loop. You cast Sigurd. What? This one? You cast Sigurd, you get an altar, you banish Sigurd to altar. Cast Sigurd, you get Schrodinger, you flicker your Athenia, you banish Sigurd to the altar. Cast Sigurd, you go get an altar. Banish Sigurd to the first altar, you banish altar to get Athenia.
But you need to get a Shadow X too, Cal.
Eventually.
Yeah, you forget that part. Because Paul is only wanting 1 Schrodinger.
Yes.
In his list. So he is kind of a bit more reliant on the Shadow X to make more crystals and whatnot. He still does the same thing. You only need 1 Shadow X to do the infinite. But, yeah.
Yep.
Animates it.
But now, yeah, he animates it. He banishes.
Athenia. Oh, wow. Look at that, all that mana.
Look at all that mana. Here's a Sigurd. It's going to go get an altar. You're just going to banish everything to altar.
Yes.
Isn't
and this is
exciting?
why we don't tap out.
Yep.
You tap out, and then you die.
That gets an Athenia. Athenia is going to untap some stones. He's going to float some mana. He's going to shuffle all of his pieces in. Welcome back to point A of the combo. Isn't it exciting?
Yes. So
it is actually really a really clean combo.
It is. It took a lot of testing to like really figure out what we got, and it looks like Paul gets
Joseph sees that it's dead, that he's done.
And look at that. Oh. Yeah, so pretty easy combo for the most part.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go back to. I don't know what these look like. Let's click that one.
Hey,
Hey, that's not us. I don't know how to change that because I don't know this program. But hello.
apparently I'm Billy Buttons.
Yes, you
Look at
are.
Brian. Brian is giving us money.
Oh, thanks, Brian. The microphone is being borrowed. Here you go.
Greetings. Top 4 is going to be up next. It's going to be Jalen versus Gerardo. So Rezard Mirror
Okay.
should be pretty interesting. But I wanted to go ahead and say, first off, thank you everybody for your flexibility with the internet stuff. We had so many backup strats for the internet at this venue, and we still ended up going off of my phone. So, but we got it. It's working.
At least we got there.
We got there. So thank you guys so much for your flexibility on that. I did want to announce our winners for our 3 drawings that we had yesterday. We had 3 giveaways. So I've got our winners here. We'll be emailing you as well. So if you're not watching the stream, you get emailed for your answers, for your prizes. So the first giveaway was for the promo prize packs, which is by choice in rank order, like 1st to 5th. We have 3 sets of 2 copies of 5 promos, including promos that haven't been released yet. And then 2 of these Games and Geek line bags. So the winners for those in order is first is Joel Garcia, Sam Coolmer, Brittany Kavanaugh, Dan Salvetti, and Patrick Ogrins. Good old Patrick. The second giveaway was for 5 Vite Ramen summer playmats and $20 gift certificates. The winners for there are Jeffrey Figueroa, Colton Cook, Kevin Wergis, Roderick Sykes, and David Hansen.
There we go.
And then our third giveaway was again for 5 of the Vite Ramen summer playmats and 5 $20 gift certificates to Vite Ramen. And the winners there are David Bruns, Jack Byrne, Kevin Wergis, Rustin Wagaman, and William Birch. So congratulations to everybody there. Like I said, I'll be emailing you to get your information and stuff so we can get stuff shipped to you. But there you go. So we're going to be getting started here with top 4 shortly. And like I said, it'll be Jalen versus Gerardo. So I'm going to get that stuff set up. And I'll let Cal and Logan talk for a bit.
Do we know who won between Travis and Mike?
Mike got it.
Okay. So it looks
And
like
you're not putting the Miker ants on stream? Yeah, I would rather watch Lich. But that's just me.
We did say that if Mike Rance won, he would put on stream.
He'll play Paul.
Play against Paul, who's just on stream.
yeah, but
It's understandable.
Yeah.
But yes, so we have Rezard Mirror. We have the Mike Rance himself versus Paul Martinson. So that's what we've got left in the format.
Yep. So Brunhild.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 Rezards. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, Rezard's still a completely solid playable deck. It does exactly what it needs to do. It's kind of, this point in the format, it's kind of the old standby, for lack of better way to. It's just kind of like the basicest variation of the deck.
Yeah, it still goes off pretty quickly. Turn 3, you can high roll it on a turn 2 if you get lucky, but
yeah, it
most time
plays a reasonable amount of interaction. It has a reasonable amount of solid tools. Yeah,
and it's just very good, pretty clean stuff too. It's not terribly easy to mess up. A little bit, but I'm being told that side events are starting, but I'll stay here a little bit.
You'll stay here with me.
I'll stay here.
Logan's gonna stay here and make sure I don't get scared.
Yes,
I'm very easily frightened. Logan also is much more knowledgeable about the format than I am right now. I basically just kind of went one day this week and stole all of his information and knowledge.
That'd be.
We get to watch Gerardo and Jalen. These are two beautiful, beautiful people, and I love them to bits.
Yes, they are. So, Rezar kills you on turn 2. He does. I suppose. Yes. It's not.
It's kind
yeah.
of a goldfish high roll
Yes.
for them to do it, but they can do it.
Yeah.
They can fairly safely do it on 3, and they also have like a reasonable amount of like interaction to keep things going. Where is? Let me go and look at these lists.
You're looking at the list. Okay.
Yeah, Jalen. Oh, he has two
Rezar's harder to
Yggdrasils.
play
Fun.
than Divinity Altar decks. Yeah. I mean, I would. I think I would agree with that. You don't have the backup of cogs. You don't have anything like that to really save you.
Yeah.
You just gotta go for gold, and if they have it kind of situation. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this one. Okay, so he's maining a Morning Angel. He's maining a Perfect Look. He's maining 2 Curse of Caduceus.
Okay, big baller,
Yeah.
baller.
Yeah. 2 Yggdrasils, 2 Athenias, Sigurd, 3 cats, 3 Calico cats.
Not the Schrodinger cats.
Yeah, 1 Schrodinger cat. 3 looks, 3 Part of True Powers, 4 Death Scythe, 4 Rhea, 2 Pharisia, 2 Don't Cheats in the main, 3 March of the Deads, and 3 Sack Altars.
Okay.
Yeah, and then his extra deck or his stranger deck is fairly normal, except are people running 2 Lokis normally, or am I just thinking that's weird?
Most people are running 2 perfect Lokis.
No, Loki the stranger.
Loki the stranger. Oh, I wouldn't know too much.
Everything else
so.
is logical. It's 2 Princess, 2 Black Wizard, 2 Faust, 2 Azazel. I think most of the lists that I had been seeing were running Hoenir in that 5th slot, but
I think Hoenir is probably better.
You can Part of True Power Loki though, and Loki says, "I'm going to RFG your dumb BS."
Yes, it's very easy to kind of set it up when you are doing kind of some stuff. But
yeah, and then Gerardo. Let's see, 1 Dark Alice, 4 Altar, 4 Undead Lord.
For Arla, that makes sense. I would understand that. Only play Loki, Stranger, and Cluster. That also, yeah, I still think. Yeah, Athenia, yeah.
4 Calico Cat, 4 Rhea, 4 Death Scythe, 3 March, 3 Athenia, 3 Part, 3 Moan, 3 Pharisia, 2 Sigurd, a Schrodinger, a Paloki, and a Kaguya. So one main thing I see here is that Gerardo is running Kaguya and Jalen is not.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, and Gerardo is running 1 Hoenir and 1 Athenia in the Stranger deck.
Okay.
Along with the core 8 that you have to play in Rezard.
Yeah. That all seems pretty good.
Yeah. So there's actually a reasonable amount of variation between these 2 lists. Some of them, like, I feel like Gerardo is going to have advantage game 1. I guess, and it's going to be small advantages. Like, just looking at the deck lists, I mostly just see that Gerardo does not have 2 Don't Cheats clogging up his deck that can only cancel Part of True Power out of the graveyard.
Yes, that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But that is. So he's running mainboard for us, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
Gerardo has 3, Jalen has 2.
Yes. So that is two pumps, 2 more green cards, right? And a mostly dark card deck.
Yeah.
Another thing to consider would be the strangers. It's going to be kind of who hits what they need.
Yeah. There's a little bit of RNG on playing the Rezard deck. That's one of the things that was key.
Yeah. I think being able to crack Altar on 3 for Kaguya is also something that can really help.
Yeah, it's definitely something that Jalen is going to have to be cognizant of as he's playing his round. That's just a thing that's gonna possibly happen. The Athenia, I'm just thinking about these 2 strangers a lot, admittedly, out of the difference in the stranger decks.
Yes.
Loki is a very odd one in the meta right now.
Yeah.
It feels like. I guess it's really good off of Judgment. Is it good off of Judgment? I'm not even sure, to be honest. Hit that refresh button. You click on it and hit refresh. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Very kind of you.
any of them playing Necromancer? I don't know if anybody's on.
No one's on Necromancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's for the red card is for the red card judgment, and because you can pop up with Black Wizard and Azazel.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, Necromancer. Probably we'll see more playing Cluster, I presume.
Yes.
Where here's the thing about Necromancer. Athenia does the same thing, but even more and better. Like Necromancer just says exile all resonators in a graveyard, I think.
Hey, I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not read cards, Cal.
I don't either.
This is why I didn't top 8.
Do I look like I know? Do I look like I read cards?
You know how to read?
He makes a good point.
Alrighty. They're still getting set up. I'm
Yep.
not sure. Oh, Jalen has entered the building.
There's Jalen.
Cute, dramatic music.
Beautiful, beautiful boy.
Yes. Oh, alrighty.
Let's see. So
they should be starting pretty soon.
Yeah, Gerardo's playing 2 Dark Depths. I'm just staring at these deck lists to
Mhm.
find it. And okay, so Gerardo's playing blue as a splash, and Jalen's playing white as a splash.
Okay.
That's why Jalen has the Morning Angel.
That's understandable.
Are the two? Do you think the Yggdrasils are relevant? How relevant is getting Death Scythe in the Resurrect
I
deck?
believe it's pretty
I think it's
relevant.
pretty relevant,
Because
right?
even because Yggdrasil searches when you play it, right? So like if you, it allows you, even if you don't need a judgment or do right, you don't need to play it. You can play the Yggdrasil when you have a Pharisia, and it lets you just set up Death Scythe loops that way. So that's one thing I like it, but I'm not sure. I've noticed it.
That's the best thing. Yeah, we didn't play a ton of Res Art here in Minnesota.
No.
So this is a little bit of a learning experience on this front for us, but we
Yes.
know how to loop the cards with Sigurd.
That is true. We just figured that 5 extra cards in the hand were better than 10 in an extra deck. And
But Res Art is still solid. Like
yes.
Res Art has continued to prove that, like, even if it's a variation, and it's a completely fair and relevant variation of the black deck.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If only we could have more decks than the black deck, but that's an issue for next Grand Prix season. Is there anything else of note here?
Oh, yeah, I suppose you don't need to really loop because you can just get Faust and stuff like
Yeah.
that and just kill them with damage, because killing them with damage can just go.
Yeah, you can also do that. Like Azazel is a key card in this deck as
Yeah.
well.
Let's just.
Jalen has 3 of the Calico Cat Shikagamis.
Oh, does he?
Mm-hmm. Gerardo has 4. That's a lot of Calico Cats.
There's a lot of Calico. Calico Cat is a good card,
Is a really good card.
especially in this matchup. You get a bottom problematic things.
Yeah. Especially, so I just now am remembering to look at this. Gerardo has 1 Dark Alice. And
Okay.
Jalen. Oh. That's frightening. Jalen has 0 Dark Alices. He has 2 in the board.
There's 2 in the board, so he's that under. I can see that.
Yeah.
So
He's going
yeah,
for it.
he's just his.
Unless I'm reading it
I would
wrong.
assume his plan is just to go hard on killing you fast, and then game 2 sideboard when you try to sideboard more answers. Yeah.
And my deck list vanished.
Oh, well, look at that.
Right? Sounds about how my day is probably going.
All right.
I don't want to see exactly one of the deck lists that Phil Mosca posted. I want to see all of them. Thank you.
All right.
And 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, I'm not seeing any main board Dark Alices here. Yep,
Okay.
that's the case.
Yes. So we're splaying out cards.
Gerardo just smashing all of his cards together.
Doing the good old-fashioned smooshing technique.
The classic. It's the good stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, as we just wait for them to finish their prep.
Yep, I'm gonna shuffle up, do some mulligans, and then that's gonna be, I would assume, a quick match, but it could be very standoffish too.
It very much could be. Mirrors have a weird way of being that way, you know,
Yes.
where
It's yeah, it gets kind of awkward when both of you are trying to do the exact same thing.
yeah, it commonly ends up in a who blinked first sort of thing.
Yes. So yeah, almost.
Let's
I would
see.
assume we're almost there.
The seeds here are wrong. Okay, I'll probably.
Yeah, don't touch that, I'll mess everything up.
Jalen's high seed. Jalen is a 4th seed.
Yes. Yeah.
Jalen is 4th seed. Gerardo is 8th seed. So no, yes, yeah,
Okay.
right. Gerardo beat Ryan Miles so bad he left crying.
Yes. Didn't even get to play the game.
Yeah, legitimately. Didn't even get to play the game.
So Mike, in theory, beats Paul, so we see Rez versus Lich. So the Brunhild versus Lich matchup was very 50-50 when we played it.
But that was because you guys had been playing that deck matchup for
Yes.
about 8,000
Paul
years.
knows the matchup very well.
And Mike doesn't.
Yes. Yeah.
Not to say that it is impossible for Mike to win.
No,
it is
Mike
Lich.
sometimes
You can just high roll the
Yeah, sometimes
hell
you're
out
just
of
like,
them.
I will kill you on 2. But I don't believe Mike is playing that version, correct? Right?
I think he has the opportunity, but I don't think Mike's super comfortable with doing that.
Okay, that also makes sense.
But Mike's deck is also a little bit more interaction. He is playing like 4 Kaguya, stuff like that. So
Yes.
okay, I did it. I pressed the refresh
open 3
thing.
Sephiroth, just loop them. That would be something he does. Yes. So yeah, it's that's a very weird matchup.
Yeah.
All right. So Rezard v Rezard though.
Rezards, just Rezards.
Okay. Turn 1 road. We dump a Honir and a Princess.
And find. Cool.
That is.
Yay.
Okay. Jalen just trying to pop off. Go with the turn 1 Death Scythe.
Turn 1 Undead Road, and then turn 1 Death Scythe.
Yep. Both
Beautiful.
hit Princess. Very important here. Jalen has a Loki, while Gerardo has a Honir.
Indeed. Here's all of these strangers. None of them are princess. This is what happens when I try to think.
I see.
Cal should stop trying to think. That's the thing that Cal needs to learn, you know?
Probably.
All
right, so we have Gerardo playing a Death Scythe. He hits, looks like a Faust, and I think Black Wizard. Can't really quite tell.
Yeah, I can't quite tell what's underneath there either.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I really agree with the playing the Death Scythe either to an empty board, but especially since Gerardo is playing Calico Cats and stuff, correct? Right, he is.
Okay.
Yes, I see a Calico Cat. So
that's a Mikagi Rhea. I'm spooked.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rhea, you just get Sigurd, right? That's just the logical thing to do. No, he gets Griffin. He's going for part of true power shenaniganry. Okay.
Yes.
He's looking to get mana advantage here, is what he's going for instead.
It looks like he hit a turn 1 Dark Depths. That is why he didn't play the Calico Cat. Which that just feels really bad because so we have Griffin things going on.
Yep, that's Griffin things going on, all right. If I've ever seen it. Then it puts a princess in. There's the Maria again.
Oh, Jalen has the Calico Cats. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't understand why he wouldn't play that, but I guess if he was just like he's trying to windmill slam this part of your power to
Yeah.
get comboing off now, which seems reasonable, I guess. But I still would like the Calico Cat because then you can just get rid of the
Well, Calico Cat
Princess.
doesn't do anything right now because of Undead Road.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
it.
can't-
That card has extra text, doesn't it? It doesn't say just dump 2 strangers. Huh?
Yeah, it has more text than just dump 2 strangers, it turns out.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of curious. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, Dustin Jones. Look at that.
Dustin Jones?
He's giving money to the
Oh,
channel.
man. Dustin Jones became a student. Good job, Dustin Jones. Hopefully, he won't get expelled in a week.
All right. So, lots of mana
Yeah,
here.
Jalen's doing stuff.
Yes. And now he just gets mana, and then mana, and then more mana.
He casts a Sigurd, he gets an altar. Now he's just got all the stuff.
Yeah, so now he gets to go sack the Sigurd, sack the Princess, sack the Griffin, crack for an Athenia, get more Griffin, get more mana.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, yeah. Should be able to dump out most, if not all, his stones here. Yeah. Lachlan knows what's up. Just loop an altar,
Yeah.
getting Griffins.
Just time to do stuff, you know?
Yep. So,
Yeah. Athenia, bring back the princess.
so then Athenia enter. But he only gets to untap or tap stones. He does not get to do both. In this very important situation when an opponent's tapped out.
Very.
Hmm.
Very much. Okay, so we untap 3.
Okay.
And
Not
we
untapping the
go-
Gusting Skies, which is reasonable.
Seems fine. He's got green. He's got black. He's got all the colors he needs.
Yeah. I suppose it doesn't really matter which one he untaps because both colors are completely covered. But
Yeah.
so now, what do we do here? Do we go for the True Power again? I would hope so.
Yeah, you can True Power again and get even more stones. Get even more stoned. There's certainly all kinds of shenaniganry that can happen.
Yeah. I would also disagree with the Griffin stuff, but yeah, sometimes you just get to win with it.
Yeah.
Right? You just get to go mana, mana, mana. Oh, look at all this mana.
Sometimes your opponent just lets you do stuff, and then you're like, isn't this fun? I get to do stuff. Yay. So, part of True Power Griffin. Here's a Griffin. Here's some more stones. Woo.
Has a ray in hand.
Yep. It's probably a ray in field as well.
Not quite yet.
True.
He's thinking. Really thinking.
Trying to figure out where we go from here is a question. Like, this is the thing that I have a tendency to struggle with. It's like, cool, I've made all this mana. I've done all this stuff. I'm miles ahead in value.
So he can
we
play
can't
that.
keep going, but what's my end goal? Where are we trying to get to?
I would assume you figure that out when you have all your stones. Because then after that, then you get to just keep getting Athenias. Because he can go pretty much. He should be able to untap at least most of them with his board set currently. So it looks like play the Rhea.
Looks like he's gonna play the Rhea. What do we get with the Rhea?
I'm assuming we go dump a True Power, put it in the yard, and then you cast.
Nope, he's dumping Death Scythe.
Death Scythe. Okay.
Death Scythe. For some reason, Jalen's now shouting at me about this.
So, does the Death Scythe. Okay. This would be much easier if we could see their hand.
Well, true. Gerardo has a Frisky in his hand, and Gerardo's just going to be like, okay, yeah, I've seen enough. enough shenaniganry has occurred, good sir. We can be done.
Yes.
I should stop clicking on things. Scoreboard, round timer, player decks, wins. I found it.
Look at you, Cal. You're being the internet man that you strive to be.
I am. I even did it right. Wow. And no one's life total changed. The good old, it's turn 2 and I've won the game.
Does Jalen have P-Loki main?
Yeah. Yes.
As you were going through the deck list, I was listening then, but now I cannot remember because you said 80,000 card names.
I know.
Remember.
Yes, he has one perfect Loki in the main. So we can just loop that and basically just tell Gerardo he never gets to play the game again.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. That scythe works too. You can get it back, put it in your hand, replay it. Yeah, okay. Patrick, I guess you make sense this time. This time, though.
This time. What? Jalen.
Yep. Do Death Scythe, do more strangers. I forget that strangers are needed sometimes.
He's trying to punch me in the teeth. Okay, so sideboards.
Yes, sideboards.
Jalen, he has 2 Undead Lord, 1 more Curse of Caduceus, another Pharisia, the 2 Dark Alices, 2 Don't Cheats, a Morning Angel, another Pier, a 3rd Heaven's Rift, 2 Moan of the Dead, and 2 Dark Alice's Smile.
Okay. I like in these kind of mirror matches, I like the idea of going pure Fresia and just machine gunning down them on one.
Quieter voice. Yeah. Quieter, apparently. I'll just shove this microphone up my throat, and we'll enter golf commentary mode.
Oh yes.
Gerardo has 2 Curse of Caduceuses, a Pier, 3 Don't Cheats in the board, 3 Pharisia's Journey, 3 Look of Corruption, and 3 Sephiroth.
Sephiroth is an interesting one.
It does mean that he can board into the hard discard plan. I'm not really sure when that's more relevant than anything else that he does. But
I actually, no, I guess I agree with it. It lets you have uncoggable things. I think that's probably the reason for it. I don't think he uses it for the draw discard. I think that's just another little benefit.
Yeah, I suppose. Makes your boys uncounterable. That's fair. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're not at the shop. We're at the ballroom still because we have actually quite a few people here. A lot of side events going off. Wanderer, which I was going to play in, but then Cal wrote me in the commentating.
Yes, because you're beautiful and your voice is lovely, and I want to hear it more. There's a solid 28 people. Looks like playing New Frontiers side event, and 8 Wanderer. I think, if I'm just guessing.
I have no idea. 1 whole row of tables is lined up, and then 2 half rows.
Yeah,
so that's 2 whole rows, Cal.
A nice healthy amount of rows.
Yes,
indeed.
All
but
right,
yeah, unfortunately, if only we had the ability to have the whole streaming set up in a room 8 miles away.
Yes.
If only.
Because I'm a very loud boy sometimes.
Yeah, and I just have a naturally loud resting voice, unfortunately. But here's Gerardo, looks like going first. He's going second.
Yep.
Yeah,
looks like Jalen's on the play.
Yep, Jalen looks like he's on the play. Looks like Jalen went back 4 cards.
Cal, they want to know if they can do epic stories for the online league.
That's the next one.
But like an event.
Yeah, I would probably consider it.
That'd be very fun.
Yeah.
If you do Valhalla cards, because then we can do degenerate things on turn 2.
That would be certainly something to watch, let me tell you.
Yes.
probably give us some great insight as to what to ban. Dark Alice's Smile from Jalen, and that's going to take out the Undead Road.
Yep.
Two
altars, a kitty cat.
2 altars, a kitty cat, and a Rhea, it looked like. And he calls a not greenstone.
But he has energize. So
He does have energize, so he can energize. That's right. He has energize for green, like a good deck.
Yes.
Okay.
We play a road.
Yep. Jalen will play his own Undead Road.
Yes.
Gerardo will pick a couple of those: Azazel and Black Wizard.
Okay.
It's pretty good hits.
Yeah,
okay.
Black Wizard's very good. That means he can do death side stuff.
Mana is a lovely thing.
Yes. Especially when it's free.
Yeah.
Free mana.
Free extra mana.
Sign me up.
Right. Black Wizard, one of the better cards that there. That's a good card.
Yes.
Gerardo, I believe, puts in a end step Rhea to dump a Sigurd.
Okay. So I wonder what we're holding up mana for. There is a Rhea
sure.
in Jay's hand and a Scythe. He has lethal. Yeah, he does. He can just go nuts.
Yeah.
Let's see.
A Rhea hit.
Oh, double Dark Depths. That is not ideal.
Yeah, that's pretty unideal, as a matter of fact.
Yes. Yeah.
What did he's marching the Sigurd.
Yep.
That makes it a little bit less terrible.
Yeah, but now he can't just keep popping off unless he... Oh, Curse of Caduceus.
He's going to go get a curse.
Understandable.
Try to make it so it's more difficult for Jalen to do excessively degenerate things.
Yes. But he might, depending on how he goes about things, he might be able just to kill him.
Right. That's definitely always a possibility. Okay.
So nothing before untaps, nothing on the end step.
What is in your hand, Jalen?
Cards that do stuff. Probably pretty synergistically with Resin.
You would hope.
You would.
You would. There's
Triple.
3 black silences.
Wait.
He has 4 mana available at the moment.
Okay. So it looks like he's going to smile again. Yep. Dark Owl Smile. Exile one of the altars.
There's a cat and an
Is he
Athenia.
on 3 or 4 altars? Gerardo. That could come in.
I believe that he's on 4.
If he's on 4, it shouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, he's on 4.
Okay, yeah. So he should be completely fine still. If he was on 3, then it's kind of getting sketchy.
Yeah. Even going from 4 to 3, I found was always a bit of a challenge, though.
A lot of times, when I suppose this is more the Lich version though, but when I would combo off with 3 in my deck, I'd still, or with 4 in my deck, I'd still only really use 3.
True.
I went shuffle in all the time with Athenia. So, what do we do here?
Bye, Ryan.
So we are in the tank.
Very deep in the tank.
I'm seeing how we do stuff.
Intriguing. Is he passing turn? Yeah, he passes the turn.
Okay.
Burns for 2. No. Do it right.
Yes, I'll do it right.
I did it. All right.
Another Rhea. Oof.
One more Rhea. And Jalen just says, yeah. Apparently Jalen just had stone cold rocks in his hand, so.
That is understandable. With him not using Black Wizards, it felt like it was pretty dead in the water.
Yeah, it must have been just nothing. Bye.
Okay.
All right. So now we go to game 3.
Yes. So the problem with combo decks, sometimes you draw things you don't want to see.
Yeah. Like, I guess his hand could have been just like
He could have just had like double Sigurd.
double Sigurd Griffin.
And just I die here. I
Yeah.
think if I had that hand, I don't even think I would really try to play it out. I'd just be like, oh well, I'm dead.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, he's just like, oh, Dark Owl Smile to try to throw wrenches into it.
I guess
then Gerardo
you
top
coulda-
decks the second ray, and you're just like, there's no way I'm doing anything against this.
Yeah.
Mike is up. Mike is
Okay.
up 1 game.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Lich is up 1 game on
Yep.
Brunhild right now.
yes.
Okay. But hope is not lost for a local boy.
Yes. So
Still have 40 more minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah, this one's going into
Yes.
game 3. Both of them scoop super early.
yes.
The game ended on turn 2, both games.
Yes. Turns out when people know how to play the game, they know when to scoop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jalen scooped on turn 3, and
Yeah.
Gerardo scooped on turn 2.
Yeah.
Yes. With 40 minutes left to go.
Yes. The good thing about Ultra decks is when you know how to play them, you know when you're dead.
Yeah. So maybe this time we'll see a banger of a match. Or we'll just see one of those matches where both players just like Look of Corruption each other 5 times and nothing happens.
Yes.
My favorite type of game.
Yes. Yeah. I think we both would like to see Paul win as well, but we like Mike. We like Mike, right?
I like Mike too.
Yeah, we like Mike. So we
I really like Paul's chances against the Rezards, so like I think I would put my money on him getting a Japan invite regardless. But
yes.
Yeah, he's going into game 2, but at least he's got time going into game 2. And out of the board, he's probably even better against the Lich deck.
He is much better. He sides in about 7 or 8 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So that should be helpful for him.
mhm.
Meanwhile, 2 of the most beautiful people from the South are
Yes.
currently neck and neck.
They are currently neck and neck. The mirror match. Who would have thought mirror match is going to game 3?
Oh, amazing. Even if their decks are actually like fairly different in how they're constructed, and like there's obviously the similarities, but
Yes.
they're a little bit different. Like one's running Griffin package, one's not running Griffin package, one's running, Heaven's Rifts, one's not running Heaven's Rifts. Okay. Jalen is taking the Energize. And here they go.
Here we go.
It's time for the deciding match.
Yes. Who can ka-chow first?
Who can ka-chow first? I should fix these numbers.
You should.
But
Because that is going to mess us up.
Want to.
Alrighty. So it looks like I saw Curse, Yig, Calico Cat, and one other card I cannot make out. Another turn.
Man, he's
one
hit
Dark Depths.
every turn 1 Dark Depths this game, right?
Yes.
Cool. Look of Corruption. You see a Part of True Power, a Curse of Caduceus, March, Calico Cat, Yggdrasil. Oof.
So he hits the Yig. Okay.
Take the Yig. Right.
Understandable.
Gerardo's playing more Undead Roads, so maybe he's just less scared of the cat in this
Mhm.
situation.
Yeah. That'd be.
It's the best thing that I can question. So passing to Jalen.
And Jalen is called his own a Black Silence.
Man, wouldn't it be nice if
pretty-
I was searching for a Death Scythe?
Yes, it would be. He's been pretty good on hitting those Black Silences.
Yeah, he's not had any issues on that front.
Okay.
He's just going to cast Curse of Caduceus.
Mhm.
We're going to pass the turn. All right.
So now we have blue black and green black for Gerardo.
Okay.
Alrighty. Then type of 2. Is this a death scythe?
Death Scythe. Death Scythe.
Oh. It's a death scythe.
Death Scythe.
Okay, death scythe.
Oh baby.
Hazel Princess. Okay.
Seems all right.
Mhm.
It's a good start.
Very good start. Pass it to Jalen. Jalen draws. Gusting Skies.
Gusting Skies.
So,
Okay.
what did we draw this turn? So,
Something good.
he gets to play the Calico Cat here, which is pretty solid. Ooh,
Yep.
I wonder. I'm not quite sure why you would tap the Gusting Skies. Unless he has something.
I mean, he has Energize for black.
I suppose it probably doesn't matter, but. Oh, it's passing.
He did have a fairly light hand, if
Mhm.
memory serves.
I'm wondering if he top decked Dark Alice or something.
That could be.
Because if he.
Casts Undead Road. Probably should respond to that, but here we are.
Yeah. But we are not responding this time.
Why not? And then I think is Araya.
Yeah, the glare is pretty hard on that, but it looks
Yeah.
to be a rare.
Glare's pretty heavy on Gerardo's side, but
Alrighty. Dump the Sacred.
Rhea been Sigurd. Now what do we get to do, Gerardo? We get to cast Sigurd.
Cast that Sacred.
We get to go and get
Which.
a card.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly an altar.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
What's that?
indeed.
It's an altar.
Just probably for the sake of simplicity. I'm just going to put a picture of altar here.
Ah.
That's the wrong format. Also was the wrong format. We'll get there eventually,
Alrighty.
kids.
So we get an altar, we sack it, we cast, get a curse. Seems reasonable.
Yep. Curse. There's a bit of a curse stare down here.
Mm-hmm. Before on tap. That's the Dark Alice. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, he must have had that Dark Alice in hand.
Okay, so he wanted the Dark Alice.
He was probably expecting. So that makes sense why he tapped the Black Silence instead.
Yeah,
He
why he
was,
tapped the way he did.
Yes.
Because now he's looking for cards.
I would assume he's. Okay. This card's a March. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's definitely digging for action right now, and March isn't the action he needs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of curious why. I mean, I don't know if marching Yig is a good play,
It is a play.
but it is a play you can do. Certainly not like the highest roll you could get off of your march, but it's still a roll.
Gerardo
to get
has
off
Pure
your
in the side,
march.
correct?
What?
They have Pure in the side? Both of them? I
believe
would assume
so.
both of them do. Pure is a good card.
Gerardo definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so does
Discard
Jalen.
a True Power. Okay.
Okay.
So we have the ability to grab a Pierre on Gerardo's side. Oh, yeah. You have to pay mana to get the Big Surge Cal.
Oh. I completely forgot that that's a part of how the card works.
Yes.
But you would have a Yig.
Man, you would. You would have a Yig.
But we've got stones.
We do, and I wonder if we have a Rhea to get more stones.
Indeed.
So one interesting thing to note is that you see people playing Rheas at the opponent's end of turn, and you see people playing Dark Calluses after you draw, before you're on taps. Just to show a little bit of timing and how people prioritize different things.
How to prioritize different things. Yeah. Because you don't want to draw the card you're going to bin with your with your Rhea, and also you just have the opportunity to just attack your opponent with your Rhea.
Yes, and in Dark Alice, you
okay,
don't want
this
attack.
is interesting. He's energized out a sacrificial altar.
Oh, cracking on
banishing
2.
on 2. Okay.
How many cards do we have in grave?
I'm
Enough
sure.
to grab P-Loki, I'm assuming? And that's a P-Loki.
Yeah, he grabs P-Loki.
There's
At
least a few.
in response, so
yes.
I would presume from this that he has 5 cards in graveyard. I can't tell.
Well, he would have 2 from Road, 2 from Death Scythe, 2 from getting Perfect Loki, and then 1 from the Sack Altar itself, at least.
Yeah. And the Sigurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has more than enough.
Yeah. Yeah, looking through that stacked graveyard.
I think Jalen's not in the best position here.
This is a rough position because now you're at a negative something. It's going to be very difficult to get any of your resonators to stick this turn. Next turn, you just kind of get bopped for 12, and then
I don't.
Gerardo just casts Sigurd again.
Yeah, I don't see a way. Plays a Death Scythe, trying to just get something.
Trying to get some value. Trying to see if there are any outs.
Makes him banish the Rhea. Dumps 2 strangers. What do we get here? Black Wizards, Loki.
Black Wizard, Loki.
Okay. Is there something we can do?
I'm not sure. He's got a part of True Power in his graveyard, but he can't get anything to stick long enough to actually part of True Power it.
Yeah. Don't think. Jalen taps his curse for him.
Yeah, they haven't been tapped unless they were doing it and not actually tapping their things.
Yeah.
Which,
this is the
how
first
am I
time.
supposed to know?
This is the first time.
This is the first time they tapped a Curse of Caduceus.
I suppose.
28? Okay.
That's reasonable.
And just nobody has informed me. All right. We are March of the Deading and Azazel into play. I'm also maybe guessing that was after Perfect Loki attacked that we went to 28, so I'm just making a presumption there. Hopefully I'm right.
Hopefully. Yep. And Jalen scoops it up.
And Jalen scoops it up. Yeah. Azazel with Altar is just, congratulations. You're never going to get there.
Yeah, sadly. But that's what it is.
It is indeed what it is, Logan.
So
that was an altar match. Yeah, that was a reserve match, indeed. So there are still 27 minutes on the clock.
Yes.
So in all reality, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this button that says in between. Hopefully that's the one that goes to an in between.
And
then
Mike and Paul are still playing.
That's what I want to go watch.
Yes.
So we're going to do that, and we'll be back with you for finals, hopefully in
Yes, it's
around half an
Rezard
hour.
versus something.
Rezard versus another deck. Whoa. Going to in between. That mutes it, right?
No, now it's. I gotta actually. Hey everybody, I'm back just for a moment. We just finished top four. They like just before time was called. They just finished top four. Finals is going to be Gerardo versus Mike Rance. We're going to see Lich versus Rezard in the finals, and then Paul and Jalen play for third. First, second, and third of this event get invites. So it's paid invite to first, unpaid to second, unpaid to third. So that's why they have to play it out for the third, because there's no one currently with a paid, or no one currently in the invite in the top four, so there's no pass downs. So we'll be back with finals in here in a little bit. We're going to give Mike just a little bit of a break because, again, he just finished his top four match. And we'll be back for finals. So thank you guys so much. We'll be back in a bit.
There,
you
I
go.
did it. I'm working on it, Jeremy. I can get the rest of it.
Trying to get the timer ready.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to mess with other stuff because I have to get the names right. Oh, right. It's a 90-minute round. Yay.
That's what we need. 30 extra minutes of Elter.
Yay. Yep.
Alrighty.
Hello.
Rezard versus Lich in the finals.
Why don't we put the rest of Gerardo's name? I don't know. I'm not asking questions, Logan.
Probably because
So,
it'd be too
hello.
long.
Welcome back to
Locals. I mean, it is locals. So,
It does kind of feel like locals.
it does.
Welcome to finals. It's Caltoum and Logan Moses again,
It is.
torturing you with our voices.
Yes. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here.
You're here because you're smarter than I am, my dude. And you have a beautiful voice.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Like that harmony? Try it.
That's 40, 100 million. Then I need to change the seeds. Because of course I do. Oh, I have to do that this way. That's correct.
Mike was third.
Mike was third seed.
There we go.
That's not right. But here we are. So, Lich Rezard in our finals.
Yes. It is not 1-1, Cal.
Shush. It is now.
It is now. We should tell them they only have to play one game.
Yeah.
Not a lot of pressure, but kind of a lot of pressure.
For all of the...
For all the altars.
All of the altars.
All the buildings.
All right.
How's chat doing? Is chat doing good as we set up and...
I hope so. Let's go and look at some deck lists. See if there's anything interesting about all the cards that Mike is playing specifically.
Well, Mike is playing the non-turn 2 version.
You are correct.
He is playing the Kaguya variant.
Yes.
Well, Kaguya-ish variant, it seems.
Kaguya-ish variant.
Yes. Quote unquote.
He has 4 copies of Sacrificial Building.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
How many Kaguyas does he have?
4.
4 Kaguyas, 2 Shadow X's. Okay.
Yep. 2 Sigurds.
1 Ploki. I feel like if you double up on something, it's not the Shadow X. But.
You would think, but who am I to judge?
Yes, I am not in top 8.
He's also playing 3 Gusting Skies.
Yes, for the Kaguyas.
Right.
So he doesn't have to rely on the Calico Cat. If Alter is banned, what is the best deck? Melgus is still pretty good, I think. Kaguya decks are pretty good.
I think Melgus generally is the one that sits on top.
I still like the idea of Kaguya decks.
Kaguya decks, in theory, do, yeah. But part of it is that the threats are so low to the ground now that, like, you aren't casting Kaguya to cancel, like, 5-mana cards or make big, massive swing plays as much anymore. Now your opponent just is going to try to Judgment on 3 and smash your face in with a bunch of creatures. So, and Melgus does that better than pretty much any other deck, except maybe, like, Gil Lapis, but I think Gil Lapis is a little bit less consistent.
Yeah, it's a bit more gimmicky from what I've seen, but it's still just
definitely not like not real.
Yeah,
a different variation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Dark Alice Cog. Yeah, I think Dark Alice Cog is pretty good. Derek would agree with you. That's for sure.
Dark Alice has a lot of fans, at least.
Yeah, it was quite a bit yesterday. What, 15?
15. It was the most represented deck.
I saw one.
Yeah, I didn't play any of them.
I played back-to-back Melguses, though. That was terrifying.
That's fair.
Yes, but Farisia is a good card.
It is a good card, as a matter of fact.
That's Seymour. Go, Mike, go. Making the meme a dream.
Mike going first as well.
Thank you for that. All right. So turn 1, we get a Heaven's Rift.
Turn 1 is Heaven's Rift.
Goes down with the look.
Comes down with the early Look of Corruption.
That is pretty spooky.
That is kind of what you want to hit here, but that's a hand, all right.
Yeah. Tears.
Yeah.
3.
It's gonna hit one of the undead roads.
Yeah. Not gonna show him.
Oh no,
Okay.
first.
There we go. Oh no, freeze.
Okay. And he's gonna explore. And he finds a cat.
Mm-hmm.
A kitty cat.
Meow meow. A lot of laughs coming from the table.
They're two
very giggly, happy boys
very
over there.
giggly, happy boys there, yes. Two very good players. Here's a undead road for Gerardo.
Now let's see if he can win from here. Because it's not impossible.
That's very true.
That's the spooky part. We hit 4. Okay. Let's see. What do we go? Zazel. Is that a Zazel Black Wizard? Oh, yeah, that was a Zazel Black Wizard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the start. He's going to just use the Black Wizard to play another undead road.
Yep.
Which, fair.
Harold, $5 super chat. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
The game. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike is definitely in the danger zone right now.
I see a Hoenir and I think maybe another Azazel.
Yeah.
In the graveyard.
Some Darkness Resonator.
Yeah. I don't think it was Faust. Definitely wasn't Princess, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So now we pass back to Mike.
Yeah.
Mike gets his Kage mana set up and passes.
Yep. Very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, though,
Turbo Flip Rezard.
if he has a way to deal with a Kage at hand, like, I don't know, does he run Lux main? No? I can't remember.
That's a good question.
Oh, okay, he's going for it. He's just going for gold.
Gerardo believes in Mike.
He's just using Black Wizard mana, Energize, and he's no death
he's
size.
just flipping.
He's just going for gold.
Oh, baby.
This man.
There's...
He's calling Mike's bluff.
He is.
Okay, no real hits. So he's...
Oof.
Hits the Death Scythe afterwards.
But he gets a Hoenir. Like, I think you get Hoenir here, don't you?
Hoenir, I can honestly see a Pharesia too, because he can't deal with it.
Yeah.
And then he also has the Death Scythe. He also has the Death Scythe Engrave, so you can kind of set up some good Pharesia plays that way.
That is certainly. He certainly just did that. He's gonna get his Azazel. Oops.
Man's getting gets an Azazel, hits him for 7.
Yep. We're the aggro deck now, boys.
Yes. Okay, so Mike's setting up to go off next turn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so this is the spooky part about tapping out against a Lich.
Mm-hmm.
Is that turns out they're very good at killing you.
They are.
Yeah.
The question is, can Mike kill him? Yes, Mike can kill him.
But can
Mike kill him?
I suppose. Can Mike kill Mike?
It's also possible.
Everything's possible in this shadow dimension that we're in. Where Mike is in the finals.
Against Gerardo.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did we get here? No one knows. Yes. Yeah, I agree, Lachlan. I think Pharesia would have been the best option. Because he just kills the Rhea. He can double pitch for Sacred. He doesn't
Yeah. Depends on what's in his hand.
Well, he just loops the Death Scythe Engrave. to kill most things.
Mhm.
And then he doesn't have to worry about getting comboed out here. Alrighty.
These two guys are beautiful. It'd probably just be better to have them on.
It would be.
Them commentating it.
Paul is currently playing against Jalen for third.
Yep.
So we set up so we go power. Set up the double altars. Get an Athenia. Whoa, who would have thought?
Who would have thought? So now it's Athenia untaps, power Athenia, banish Athenia, cast Sigurd, get Schrodinger, flicker Athenia.
Mhm.
Go hard in the paint.
Oh, he's doing moan.
Oh,
He got a little debated there.
Oh, so that's that. Oh,
And he gets to ping him for 2 as well.
Oh, Pog.
Yeah. So Mike kind of got overextended a little bit.
Yeah, Moan of the Dead is
I'm
a card.
assuming yeah, okay. And then since he's playing Moan and Rezard, Moan's super nutty, and he gets to mill 2 more strangers. So we hit a princess.
I think it's just mill 1, right?
Is it no? I don't know.
I'll look it up on FoW Grimoire.
Could definitely just be 1. All that card does for me is kill something.
Yeah,
Just mill 1?
just 1.
Okay. That is understandable.
He's gonna just hard cast this.
Yes, Mike does play power. He plays Undeath, Tears, Explore, Power, Chant.
Makes him discard a card from his hand. He discards a altar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Power's
Power of
here.
Immortality, powering the Sigurd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a 2.
That's on 2. Second.
Cracks on 2.
Yeah.
And that is a P Loki. Oh, no.
No, it was an Athenia.
Oh, it was on. Okay, I see.
It was on 2. He banishes the Sigurd to
To
make
go
it
to
3.
I thought it was passing going P Loki and just be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to hold on this, but that makes sense now.
Okay. So now he has an altar, Sephiroth, Athenia, a Sigurd Engrave. Like, it's hard to see a world where he doesn't do pretty well here. Yeah, Sigurd just to cast a Sephiroth.
Yeah, that free seal would have been very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could have like shredded your own hand.
Yeah. Well, all he has to really do there is just kill the Rhea.
Yeah,
Then
I
he can,
suppose.
yeah, he can
kill
only get a
Rhea.
2-drop done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when he tries to power something, he just pitches 2 cards and kills that too.
Yeah.
So
and then he can still Moan of the Dead if he needs to.
Yeah, and then he had Moan of the Dead on top of that.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, you live and you learn.
I can see why he went for the YOLO judgment, admittedly, in that situation, because he wasn't doing a ton else. But I do agree that I think the first seal probably would have been a slightly better option on that front.
I didn't hate the judgment. I just think the Azazel was wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's very weird to see someone YOLO judgment Rezard on 2.
Yeah.
So
no death scythe.
With no death scythe, so I was surprised. But now to see if Mike can execute a kill or if he's just going to execute a lock.
I think he's going to lock, get some Schrodingers, and then set it up to where he's going to kill him next turn.
banish, get another Athenia, but then what do you do?
No, he can also just sack. Oh, okay. He can do that way too. I was gonna say he could just sack Sacred, grab another Sacred, grab the 4 Schrodingers, and then he's left with pretty much the same board state.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly the same because he doesn't have the mana, but
Right.
you have the mana from Sephiroth, so I don't think you really care.
True. And so if Mike doesn't kill this turn, what's Gerardo's outs?
Bribing seems pretty good.
Right.
I'm not sure there's a whole lot he can do.
Rezard Goddard do anything in this situation? Like we're doing a big old shuffle back.
Yep. Doing a little shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Now you get.
So
Okay.
Yep. So at this point, he's just kind of setting up, I think, for next turn. Yep.
I kind of felt like you could get Schrodinger and go positive on mana there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't do it like that, where he just goes Schrodinger and then ends on the.
Well, you could also just go Schrodinger, flicker the Athenia. Like I'm thinking in the terms of you have the X loop set up now.
Yeah.
So you just kill them off with the Shadow X loop, but if you're not comfortable with the Shadow X loop, that's a lot harder.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
okay.
he's definitely going to kill with Shadow X, but I feel like at this point he's kind of just like looping to loop.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of like
he's not really accruing any resources right now.
Yeah,
he's going slightly minus on resources. Because he's like, every time he's untapped with minus a Sephiroth and stuff like that. Like,
yeah. I don't think he has to do it this way. Yeah.
And so you get the Sephiroth, Okay. I just feel like you want to get a...
Okay. So, yeah, I am very. I don't know why he's not just grabbing Schrodinger, because you can still.
Yeah.
You can grab all 4 with the Sigurd enters and then finish it off with the final altar.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
He isn't a progressing board state like at all right now.
Yeah.
Like, and it can't be that he just has all of them in his hand, because like then you just cast them.
Yeah.
Every Schrodinger right now is 2 mana for 3 mana.
Yes.
And then you can execute loops and start getting crystals and stuff, but...
Well, he's just gonna loop Shadow X twice. He just makes 4 darkness, and he's gonna just pop them.
Oh, you think he's setting up for the Schrodinger attack setup?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's not improving the board state, but he's still changing it, so he's not like stalling or anything. But like,
yeah,
it's I don't know. It's that little moral quandary, I guess. But is he? Nope. He's passing all the Schrodingers. Oh, nope. Okay, so he's grabbing that one now. Okay, so now we finally are doing this.
Now I think he finally figured out that he needs to go positive on mana to continue this combo, because he's gotten to a point now that he doesn't have any. This starts is now his combo extender is the Schrodinger.
I feel like
Oh,
They're just kind of
I see the issue now. Actually, he doesn't have double green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is why he just grabs the Schrodinger's, sets
Yeah.
up double altar, and then goes perfect Loki kill you
Mhm.
on my turn. But yeah, I think he's I mean, he's probably just stuck in the way of I have to kill him this turn, but he doesn't at all. Because he can set it up to be like he doesn't even have to he has one altar on field already, so he can just grab the 4 and then flicker the Athenia. To have all 3 of his stones untapped. He has cogs in hand, and then he can exile his grave with the floating like now.
Yeah.
And then whatever he draws, right?
Yeah. That seems like the best
he has
line
he
here.
has Sephiroths, so he has double green. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, so he can do.
He can get Sephiroths, but that's not the same as having 2 green black stones.
Yeah, it's yeah. There's also a pretty neat line here where he could do some Dark Alice things and set up and pretty much draw his whole deck while making infinite mana. There's a lot of cool loops you can do with this board state, but at this point,
once you have a situation like this, yeah,
it's like, does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. Rhea to Rhea. I don't know. Like, there's no point in doing that. But
okay. Yeah, I'm not sure where the issue where he's going with this, but he's going somewhere.
second video.
He's going somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so now he's gonna grab. He plays 4 Schrodinger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Grab a Sigurd, grab a Sephiroth, make him discard that. Maybe he has Perfect Loki in hand? Like, that would be another issue. But then you just grab Dark Alice and you solve that issue by shuffling back in, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Nope, I see Perfect Loki in the deck. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing.
Finally gotten to the point where he's figured out, I think, where his end step's going to be, which is just going to be like, here's a massive board with a perfect Loki.
Yeah.
Killing your Rezard. You're so far behind on development.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's confusing now is he is left altarless.
So he didn't exile his grave. Because he has to wait, because there's a Death Scythe in there, so he has to wait.
Oh, there's a Death Scythe in the grave. Gotcha. Yeah.
So, he has to wait. So, I kind of get that, where he has to, but like...
I mean, it's not like he has enough black mana to fight the Death Scythes.
Yeah. So he's on... yeah. I feel like what you do is you just do it last turn when he kept making all the mana, and then you just keep doing what you're doing. Because I mean, he made him discard an extra 5 cards on top of no reason
like that.
And so, yeah, he can just counter with, but. Interesting match.
It is a very interesting match. You're going to put Black Wizard in his hand and cast Black Wizard. Yeah. Gives him more black. Yeah. Just an extended way of scooping.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did my mouse go? There we go. I found it.
Yeah, pretty much. Game could have been over quite a bit. Of course, I suppose at that point.
But it is that situation where, caster vision is certainly very much different than sitting in the thick
Yes.
of it
That's true.
and trying to make sure you keep your head on straight while dealing with the nerves.
Mm-hmm.
So now we are 0-1 Lich. And now we sideboard.
What do we got for good sideboard
What
text?
have we got for a good sideboard text? Who do I have right now? That's neither of them. There's my boy Gerardo. So he has 2 curses appear, 3 don't sheets, 3 Pharisia, 3 Look of Corruption, and 3 Sephiroth on the board.
So the don't cheats, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like the don't sheets obviously come in. Do you bring in Look of Corruption?
Yay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Peer definitely comes in.
You can bring in the looks to deal with the cogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did do the turn 2 flip. Yeah.
Yeah.
The flip wasn't bad. It was the grabbing the Azazel over the Pharesia.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mike's sideboard is 1 Peer, 3 Optical Camouflage, 2 Black Moonray, 2 Curse of Caduceus, 2 Dark Alice's Smile, 2 Awakening of the Winged Lord, and 3 Federico Zappinis.
Well, the Zubinis probably come in.
Probably.
You don't want people to judge you.
Yeah. You don't want people Zappiniing you without being able to Zappini him back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he probably definitely brings
Actually,
in...
probably don't bring in Don't Cheat. Like,
No, you don't.
no,
you
it's
don't.
garbage in this
Yes.
matchup. Dark Alice's Smile definitely comes in.
Yeah. Pierre is also another good one because you're expecting the curses. Optical camouflages. I
like Optical Camouflage against any deck that's trying to do Sigurd loops, but the Resurrect's
I
a
don't
little
think you
bit
do.
weird.
Because he's probably going to grab Pharesia, and then
Yeah.
that's the thing you need to really be worried about. Yeah. If he had something like End of Friendship, that'd be really good in this case, but we do not have an update, but they are in the second game, I'm assuming, for the 3rd place match.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody over there to ask without shouting, and I don't feel like shouting.
Yeah. Shouting seems bad.
Right.
So, just shuffling up. Yeah. So definitely a very interesting GP.
It has been. And, this format's... It's certainly something.
Yes.
It's very
punishing.
punishing. It's very knowledge intensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's very skill intensive. It's very, very easy to make mistakes.
Yes. Very easy to make mistakes. You need to know proper sequencing of a lot of things. When to interact is very important.
Full knowledge of what's in your library at all times.
Yes. Playing like a dredge player. Very good in this case.
Yep.
Half the mat is your graveyard.
Usually.
You have to make sure you know whatever card is in there and how many altars and where your secrets are at all times.
Yep. Very much true.
Cal, what was your final record?
Me?
Yes.
I ended at 5-2.
5-2.
Yep. Bubbled out into 11th place. I had the same record as Gerardo. But he's prettier than I am, so.
He's a very pretty boy.
He's really pretty. He's a beautiful, beautiful boy. So is Mike, but in a different way.
Sometimes. Sometimes I question his sanity.
Always. This format's... I honestly don't hate it as much as I thought I was gonna.
No.
The only thing is just that, it feels like you're playing the same match a bunch, but it feels like the games are, they're testing.
Yes.
They're difficult, and they should be difficult.
Yeah. I think that's why I like it. It's because it's very. You have to know what trees you have, what lines you got.
Yeah.
Gotta know when to do things, how to do things, what your opponent's trying to do.
It wouldn't like surprise me necessarily if this format ends up kind of a little bit like how people remember Sherry Meta with rose-colored tinted glasses.
Yes, everyone. Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody looks back at Sherry Meta and going, "Well, man, I loved Sherry Meta." Every good player does. And that's because it was a very skill-intensive format.
Yes.
It was very punishing. You had to know what you were doing.
Yes.
And this format is a lot of the same things. And the Sherry format had the same issue. You're playing variations on the same deck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 7 Sherries in top 8 or something egregious like that. So
yeah, and I think probably every deck in top 8 had altars.
yes, every deck of top 8 had altars. The total count of altars after I finally went through was actually 33.
Out of the top 8s?
Yeah. 33 altars out of 36 possible altars.
That's
yeah.
Man, I mean that just shows you.
It's just better than everything else you can do in the format.
Yeah. The tutoring is very good at instant speed, especially when it goes on the field.
Turn 1 Gusting Skies into an Explore the Unknown.
Ooh, pretty good start. Let's see, what do we hit here? Hit the cog.
Finds the Kaguya.
Yes.
The Gerardo's going to be on the draw. Doing the hunt for the T1 Death Scythes, methinks.
We turn 1 cat here, I would assume.
Yeah. It's definitely
But that's also
an
kind
option.
of, that's very scary too, because then if he slams that,
Death Scythe does just kill the cat,
yes.
admittedly.
8 times 4 is 32 cal.
So 29 altars.
There you go.
Thank you. There should have been 33.
Ryan wanted you to know that. I think that's Ryan. I'm pretty sure that's Ryan.
What's the name?
That's just how good it is. There's 33 out of 32 possible.
Yeah, 33 out of 2.
It's like 7
possible.
It's like 7 wins.
Probably.
Someone's cheating.
Yeah, Lars, I just played IU. Actually, that was after Sherry Meta. I played Sherry Meta during Sherry Meta. And I was a very mediocre Sherry. Because I hadn't discovered the way of IU yet.
Yes. So right now, what do we got going on? We got a cat on 1.
You know, cat on 1 and an Undead Lord.
And a an altar.
Undead Road. It's Athenia and Princess, I think.
Math is for people who are losing.
Math is for people who have better jobs than me.
That too. But I don't have to do math. My opponent scoops.
Yeah.
Exactly why we play altar. All 33 of them.
Yep. Exactly.
In our deck. So.
That was why every time I was like, I'm going to make 400,000 crystals. Exactly. Death Scythe gets countered. Rip.
Ah.
A shocking twist of fate, but not necessarily one that's surprising.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and pass. Oh, did the Calico Cat get in for 4? I'm going to presume that's the case, being that there's nothing that you can legally target in Gerardo's graveyard.
Yes.
Uh, 32 and then 25, I believe. Again, I don't know how to do math, so.
I don't know either. Alrighty.
Okay.
And then we chant.
Ooh, Moan of the Dead in response to the chant.
Yeah. That's kind of punishing. I feel like you just hold up the chant.
Yeah.
You just wait until he tries to cast something and you just go chant and then chant back Kage then.
Yeah. He now has his 2 black sources now at least, so.
He does. But there is a very real chance of getting high rolled here.
Yeah.
Because if he's trying to chant his Kaguya, he probably doesn't have a Kaguya.
Yeah. Main phase chant Kaguya is certainly a thing to do.
Okay. I see a Dark Alice in his hand, but that's all I saw.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got a princess.
So now what's your play?
We got a princess and an Azazel, which is a pretty good start.
Okay. Puts the Death Scythe back in his hand, cast Death Scythe.
Okay, so he's going to probably grab back the Athenia, I would assume.
It's possible. Yeah.
To get back the Azazel.
No, he makes him banish.
Oh, okay.
Get one of them Taylor Prince Cats tokens.
Oh, fancy.
And Mike throws the die off of the table.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not really sure why people roll so much. I normally just say random numbers.
Yeah.
That works too.
Works pretty much just as well. He's going to play his own Calico Cat. And Mike's going to Dark Alice.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. Use your mana efficiently, kids. There's a Sigurd in the graveyard. This is where we need the second moan.
I feel like we need a lot more than the second one.
Maybe. I mean, we have a Calico Cat that's staring kind of sad-like at a Dark Alice, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Gerardo gets anything here. I think he just loses. Just gonna smile him just to make sure the coast is clear. Has double Phreesia.
Just double Phreesia.
Yeah. All right, so it looks
That's
like
the game.
Yes. So now we need to see what's happening for the third place match.
Yeah. Why are you pointing at me? I'm not going to ask questions.
I don't know. I think
that asking questions is too difficult, Logan.
Apparently.
What I do know, that Mike Grants just won a Grand Prix.
He did.
Yeah.
That's spooky.
That's
very spooky.
That's the thing that just happened.
Yeah.
And so at some point, I have to get Jeremy and Mike up here to talk at the stream.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. They're celebrating. They're talking. They're chit-chatting.
Oh, yeah. It's a good time. Mike is
wild
hype as
now.
hell.
He's going crazy.
Yep.
He gets to go to Japan. I suppose
paid to go to Japan.
Yes.
Lucky boy.
Lucky boy.
When will we go to Japan? Who knows?
We? Is it me too? No.
I'm taking you.
I'm
stuffing you in a suitcase for a 17-hour flight from Toronto to...
Yeah. With a Lich. So I still think Lich is better than most decks currently.
Yeah. It's Lich or Brunhild. I think those are the two best decks.
I think
hard. I think it's hard to...
I played like a bonobo, so...
I know. That's why you play Lich.
Exactly. That's why, yeah.
You turn your brain off and go monkey.
Yeah. I punted my winning in, so...
Yep.
Happens.
It's how it goes, man.
You win game 1, and then you get cocky game 2, and then you just lose game 3 because your cards don't work. But
you gotta not get cocky.
Yep. But yeah.
But yeah. I do think that the Divinity Altar decks just are stronger than the Rezard ones generally. And I think those are the preferred variants at the moment.
Yeah. So yeah, I suppose you could play Lucifer. I just like Lich because you can you have the backup infinite, quote unquote, right? Where you can just flip Lich with your floating mana, and then you make the tokens, and then you're in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Black Divinity pretty much always is going to be the same for the most part. Like I don't.
Yeah.
There isn't really.
You aren't gonna play Black Rosario is the thing. Like.
Yeah.
So Lucifer versus Lich doesn't really do anything for you, and Lich has the cheaper judgment.
Yeah.
And the theoretical infinite.
We should. Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk to him, Cal?
I guess. I don't know. Jeremy seems preoccupied at the moment.
Yes, he does. So you talk with this lovely boy.
He's working on it. He's here. Do you want to do it? I don't know what to do, so. Okay. I'm going to hug Michael.
Oh, my God. Bless. Thank you, sir. Oh, my God.
Mike Grants,
Jeremy Franklin.
GP winner Mike Grants.
Oh, are we no mask on?
You don't have to wear a mask up here.
Sweet. Yeah, we're far away from everyone. Jeez. Oh, boy.
So I didn't really get to see your finals
Oh, yeah, you were
because
up.
I was watching the
Oh.
other top.
Oh, my
the
God, 74 messages in my work group chat.
Yeah. So,
What happened? No.
So I'm trying to check what the chat's asking. Chat's telling you a lot of congratulations.
Oh,
So,
thanks, chat. Hey. Whew. Oh, I'm on camera now. Yeah.
you are on camera now. So
That's
let's
me.
talk about a few things.
Yeah.
You decided to play at. You were not at Collinsville. This was your first GP of the season. Hey, Matt Seymour! Congratulations, you beautiful man. He tells you.
Oh, five
So-
Canadian dollarinos.
So
Yeah.
going into this event, we knew that there were the kind of commonly discussed alter variants were things the Brunhild control take,
Yeah.
and then like the Rezard like pure loop.
Yep.
There had been like the inklings spreading out kind of about the Shadow X loops, but no one really, and there had been discussion. We've even talked about it on Teacher's Lounge about the idea of Magna alter, right?
Yeah.
So what, with all of those different things in mind, what pushed you towards black base ruler in this meta as opposed to those other, like black base Rune Ruler?
Yeah.
Because you and I talked before about it's not really a huge change between Lucifer and Lich.
Exactly.
But like, what pushed you towards black base Rune Ruler for this alter meta?
So it was mainly the fact that I was looking through every because there was a quote that Ryan Miles gave me when we were going into this tournament, and he said the meta is exclusively turn 3 alter loops, alter control with Kaguya, and discard control. So I said, time for some mad science. I'm going to put them all together in the same deck.
Yeah,
So
we did. I do remember us talking about this slightly
yeah.
pre-Teachers Lounging.
I kind of split the middle on some of the things. I did pretty the only thing you really need to add in for the full like Sigurd loop is the 4 Athenia and the 4 not sacrificial altar, the 4 Sephiroth.
Sure.
So what
Hey, that's what I told Ryan. Don't let him steal my foot. So
man.
okay.
So I basically decided that, you know what, let's try and figure out, the best way to abuse Kaguya, because she's absolutely the best card ever printed in this game's entire history and will never, ever be bested. If something bests her, I will quit this game.
Sure.
Just pointing that out there.
Yeah. Not wrong.
Dark Alice is obviously a sick card. I actually didn't have her in the original deck because I was trying to play defense stance for more cancels, but then I'm like, if I draw Sigurd, I lose. Let's not do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because your version of the deck is only running 2 copies of Sigurd in the main, correct?
It's important just to run the 2 Sigurd because you can just generally fetch it off of the Explore the Unknown. And then if you have the Dark Alice, you just get that. I also decided against maining the Awakening of the Winged Lord just because I don't have the defense stances.
Not as many 2-drops to grant.
Exactly.
Right?
I literally, the only 2-drop resonators I have are the 2 Sigurd and the 1 Perfect Loki.
And so then your only 2-drop additions were the altars.
And the Schrodingers. I did play 4
Schrodingers.
Schrodingers.
Sure.
But the Schrodingers were in there also just for flickering Kaguya, so they already had a purpose there.
Yeah, so they're like a second Kaguya.
Exactly. Everything was basically a second copy of every other card, and then you just happen to have the loop. If you get the Sigurd engraved by turn 3 and you don't get mana screwed like I did against Ryan, where you get the 3 Gusting Skies,
yeah, for sure.
then you just pop off.
Having access to... So, one of the reasons why people have been pushing for Brunhild has been the Energized White.
Yep.
In this stone base where you're wanting to play black green, you're wanting to play black white stones, gets a little bit awkward.
Yeah, the
so
energize
like the
is
white.
the energize is really awkward when it comes
So
to
yeah,
that.
for the Lich variant, you're energizing black.
Yep. And a lot of the time, that energized black actually decided as I played my best turn play is by far Look of Corruption because that card is bonkers.
Sure.
Knowing your opponent's hand and knowing if you can. Oh, Tears of the Fallen was actually the main reason that Lich and Lucifer were on my radar.
Sure.
You risk the Sigurd hit on the early game, but if you have a Calico Cat, you can just shuffle it back in and never let them touch it.
Sure. Absolutely.
So that's possible as well. If you Look of Corruption them and they don't have the Sigurd, you just rip 2 cards out of their hand, play Explore the Unknown, you're up 3 cards against them with a Kaguya coming up on the next turn. Like, their options are gone at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if your opponent has no options by turn 3, you just
Andrew, for who's up, I know that we're in game 2 at least. They have about 20 minutes left on the clock, a little bit less than 20 minutes left on the clock.
Makes sense.
Jalen is down a game. There was some really good back and forth. Some unfortunate misplays from both players led to some really awkward exchanges. And at the end of the exchange, Paul was able to get to crack altar for Pharesia, crack altar for Pierre, dump cards into Pierre, swing for lethal.
Yeah, Paul's probably favored with 20 minutes on the clock and with game 1, but obviously we're not going to know that until afterwards. Because Jalen is a really tactical player and can play it out pretty quickly, which is nice.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens for sure. Yeah. And then, so obviously, I don't really think we need to necessarily discuss what you would do different for this deck because this format doesn't ever exist again. Because GPs aren't a thing. Most locals have been choosing to ban Altar anyway, and Altar doesn't exist post next set.
Yep.
So I won't talk about that.
I'd rather not talk about Altar anyway. I hate that card.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're all there. Was there ever a moment in this meta like that your deck felt uncomfortable, like during Swiss?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what were those matchups?
So the main ones are always going to be, of course, the mirror matches.
Sure.
It's half the games I played once you get into like the X1 brackets, going into later into this, XO1 actually.
Sure.
But once you start going to there, you just face a ton of the mirror matches. The biggest problems are Brunhild gave me a lot of trouble because both of my loss and my draw were to Brunhild Altar.
Sure.
The Dispel making my timing really awkward is a big deal. They had defense stances, so they had more cancels than I did, but as long as I had the mana for it, it wasn't really mattering too much, so long as I could just keep my tempo up. And baiting the cancels is the biggest thing right now. Like, it is huge.
Right, yeah, for sure. We noticed that a few times before. There were a couple of games yesterday where it was the player had the opportunity to like sequence things at a suboptimal order where they would still generate value if it didn't bait out the cancel, but they would get even more value if it did. And we saw players not take that suboptimal line in order to like still get ahead of the
Also, I want to address Lachlan's question on answer to opening multiple Pharesia and you can't discard them all. And then they energize it out turn 1. And what's your answer to that? The answer to that is that they'll have 2 cards in hand, and I've probably gotten more things on the board at that point. I'll just play a bunch of 2-drops. The Pharesia will deal some damage to me, but I'll build up 1-drops because I've got like 7 quick cast 1-drops and 4 of the Calico Cat, which are just automatically 2 bodies.
Sure.
So most of the time, like, obviously it's a hard thing to come back from, but if he's energizing out Pharesia on turn 1 and discarding cards for it, he's not going to have a lot after that. And as long as I can go into like turn 4 or turn 5, I should have it.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving away from this meta, right?
Yeah.
Going into Saga Cluster? Let's talk about Saga Cluster. These are the questions that we asked the players for the giveaways on stream. So
okay,
I'll
cool.
kind of ask you. I mean, the third answer seems kind of obvious after what just happened, but we'll talk about it. The first question was, of Alice Origins, what was your favorite ruler for whatever reason? I mean, I know that answer is pretty obvious. It's Valentina, we won't talk about it. The second question is really what I want to talk to you about is we have seen the artwork, at least, we would imagine, for the 6 rulers for Saga Cluster, which we know clearly Ragnarok, clearly Mikage, clearly Welser, pretty sure Oborozuki at this point, and then a Dragonoid girl and the blonde chick. of those, like, is there one of them that you feel like you're really excited to see, or like
Welser.
really excited about Welser?
Guaranteed.
Okay, why is it about Welser?
I loved Welser's general lore design, and the way that he was created was really nice. Like, I really liked the crest mechanic. I liked how he used them to make mana, to judgment himself.
Yeah.
Problems obviously were that his spirits were reliant on the crest, so
Yeah, that gets a little bit wonky.
that gets a little wonky. He costs 5. His judgment side is just the coolest side I've ever seen. He just puts something into play.
Yeah.
You give him swiftness by doing things. You just whop your opponent. Oh, it's
it'll
so
be cool
pleasant.
It'll be cool to see exactly how young Welser.
I love
plays.
big effects, and I love effects that are like that feel unique to a ruler. Kind of. It's not. I don't like gimmicky effects, but I like unique effects.
Yeah, sure.
Which is a hard balance.
So then here's the question, right? So new Valhalla cluster, we had the Room deck, which is extra starting kind of 5 cards. Then we went into Alice Origins cluster, which was the randomness of the Stranger deck, but it's like these extra toolbox cards or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but in Alice Origins 4 Prologue, we went back to this again, this theming of like, this is my ruler, this is what my ruler does.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have to rely on the deck and my ruler, not this like extra set of stuff. So Paul wins. So Paul takes third.
Paul takes third.
So Paul Martinson takes third. So Lich, Rezard, Brunhild.
Yep.
And then knowing what we have here, knowing that rotation is about to happen,
yep.
And knowing that we've seen a design space where we're going back to rulers being like non-extra deck stuff,
which is really nice for me.
What do you think about, like, what do you need to see in Saga Cluster, the first 6 rulers, to like say, okay, you know, it's still gonna have to compete with some extra deck stuff. What are they capable of doing? I guess, I mean, we have a sense of that with like Dark Alice, Gil Lapis, and Magna. The question becomes like, if you took, as it stands right now, with just Stranger rulers versus like Prologue to Ataraxia rulers, not taking into consideration Rune Rulers at all or anything Rhea Cluster, what needs to happen, do you think, to allow non-extra deck rulers to keep up or be able to make pace with extra deck rulers?
I think the biggest thing is that we've seen problems specifically with extra decks in formats like Wanderer. You go into like internal format. As I've told everybody before, Conqueror is focused on stopping extra deck from being as prevalent as it is. Thankfully, the chant room mechanic was able to kind of get rid of that.
Right.
But with Strangers, it's tougher because not only is it that you're getting 10 extra cards, but you're also getting triggers off Regalia.
Sure.
So the big thing is that I think the rulers in this next set have to have either activate abilities or automatic triggers over time.
Sure.
That generate more value. Because with the Stranger deck, you're limited to 10 times, and 4 times for the Regalia. Rizard gets a lot of it.
Yeah, Rizard gets a lot more.
With Divinity, you got 5 specific basically 5 swappable God Arts, if you want to consider it like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Which then just turned into, how do I play Explore the Unknown in every deck and then win? But the biggest thing is that you just need to have things that generate incremental value that can be impactful enough on the board state to make them worth considering.
Sure.
Because something along, like, I'm trying to think of, say, Kyric's ability to tap itself to gain strength counters. You can always do that. It's an eternal fact. You can keep doing it over and over again, but it doesn't impact the board in any meaningful way until you combo it with cards.
So you think we need to go back to that?
A little bit closer to that, but I think a little bit more impactfully than just
having
gaining counters.
Having some more board presence back.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, excellent. Babatunde, we would imagine that Worlds is going to be New Frontiers, which would be last year's New Frontiers was everything pre, but the previous year before that it had New Frontiers.
I do.
Yeah. 1 second. We're going to wrap it up here in just a second.
I'm interviewing.
So the previous year's New Frontiers was actually full cluster plus 1 set of the new stuff. So it'll be a toss-up to see what happens. But that is it. We have Svetlana telling us to wrap it up. So we did want to say congratulations again, my friend.
Thank you.
Good. Congratulations.
It hasn't hit me yet. I don't know why.
I think it'll hit you shortly. We want to thank everybody who joined on the stream. Again, all the awesome sponsors. Check out all those links down below. And remember, if you're looking for Saga, Epic of the Dragon Lord, Saga Cluster, you can go down below. Odyssey Games is doing pre-orders for $85 a box
Woo!
right now.
85?
85 a box right
Pick
now.
it up, boys.
And
Pick
if
it up.
And if you use the code alumni in all caps, you get free shipping on any order of 2 boxes or more. So that's a really good deal for pre-orders for Saga Cluster. They have a great access for being able to get to that. So check it out. And until next time, this has been DMO73, and I've been joined by now GP champion Mike Rance saying, class dismissed. Have a good day, everybody.